What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to the Cris
And Mal.
podcast, episode 43. This is Big Energy Monday because we got a lot of things going on today. The playoff picture has been molded. Uh, National championship today, and some other news, boxing news, and other things going on in the sports and regular words, plus the Katt Williams interview. We're going to get into that. So we got a lot to get into. So let's get into it. And we are back. Cris and Mal podcast, episode 43, Big Energy Monday. Hope everybody's having a good Monday afternoon. What's going on, Mal? How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. We got a big week of sports, coming up. Very exciting times here. Also, very sad times, because it's getting closer to the end of football season. You know what I mean? Especially for you, brother. I'm trying to get you into the NBA ploy, so we're gonna work on that. So, overall, I'm in good spirits, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I can't complain, man. It's a good day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Woke up feeling good, feeling great. So excited for today's pod. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, man. Let's jump it off. Usually we jump it off with sports, but we're gonna jump it off with the elephant in the room. Katt
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Williams. Katt Williams interview. Everybody's talking about it. It's over probably at 100 million now, probably views. I don't know.
I think he
But
had like 15 million on his YouTube
yeah,
alone. So,
yeah. So it's up there. It's been the talk of the internet, social media, everywhere. You go to work, people asking you about how you feel about the Katt Williams interview. So I'm gonna let you kick this one off, man. How you feeling about this Katt Williams?
oh man, I think it brought in the new year, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't take too long for 2024 to, start off with a bang, you know what I'm saying? So what I took with Cap, man, is like, obviously it felt, obviously, seems like he had a lot on his chest, that he wanted to pop off about. I know there was past interviews, he kind of like hinted at the same things too. Um, there was a couple things where I thought he went a little crazy, a little overboard, especially like with Ludacris's wife and all that type of stuff like that. But overall, man, just with the whole consensus, like with how fast a lot of these comedians and artists and all that have responded, you know what I mean? Like, there's got to be some hint of truth to that. You know what I'm saying? So if if you knew if you knew everything he was saying about you was a lie, you wouldn't even respond to it. You know what I mean? Especially a lot of some of these cats where we haven't even seen them, you know what I mean, for a minute, and then they just pop out the blue, you know what I mean, talking, pretty much saying what they had to say. So um what was your overall take, man? What do you think was like the most like spiciest shit he says as far as like his whole
Well, well,
commentary on the
well,
pod?
well, let me start here before I get to that. Let me start here. I think that there was some truth to it. I
Mm-hmm.
think there was some embellishment to it, and I think it was just some Cat Williams, just
Joking
he
around type
cooking up,
shit. Yeah.
just cooking up some shit. You know what I'm saying? Just to say it, like the stuff about Steve Harvey. This ain't the first person I've heard stuff about Steve Harvey that he's, you know what I'm saying, he's not what he is, and people don't
Mm-hmm.
really care for. So a lot of comedians don't really care for Steve Harvey because he comes off as he's holier than thou, he's better than, So I've heard that before. I've heard that from numerous comics. Um, Cedric the Entertainer, it's documented that you saw the joke. You know what I'm saying? He stole the joke. It is what it is. I mean, that's comedy. They gonna steal each other's. People gonna steal your material, just like music. Somebody gonna steal your style. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna happen. Um, and as far as all the other stuff, he was talking with Kevin Hart, and he had stuff on. He's got offers, the same offers on the table. Sometimes you can't be mad that the other man takes the job. You know what I'm saying? And then he knocks it out of the park, and you get mad because he knocked it out of the park, and now they're going to him for all the parts that you passed on. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And for whatever reason, whether you feel like it was against your integrity, you know what I'm saying? Whether you feel like, oh, they was making you trying to do some, homosexual stuff that you're not down for, messing with your integrity, all that good stuff. I get all that. But at the end of the day, he took the jobs. He made those movies box office, because at the end of the day, he still had to knock it out of the park. It wasn't guaranteed Kevin Hart was going to make it a great movie, or whatever project that Katt Williams got first, and then they get to Kevin. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kevin still had to knock it out of the park, and he did that. And now he's a global icon right now. He's way past a comedian now. He is a global icon now. And I've heard and then he's talking about his come up, and he's a plant. I don't think Kevin Hart's a plant. You know what I'm saying? We've seen Kevin Hart's come up. You know what I'm saying? From when he was down at the bottom, from Soul Plane to Paper Soldiers to it's not like he just came out of nowhere. Like, he had to grind to get to where he was at now. You know what I'm saying? To now he's a Netflix staple. Stablemate now. He's got movies all over, and he's got stand-ups and stuff on there too. So I'm not gonna, what I'm saying, as far as Kevin Hart, I'm not gonna knock Kevin Hart for doing, taking the opportunities that was given to him. Hey, he knocked him out the park, and now he is where he's at. But at the end of the day, Katt Williams did what he wanted it to do, and that's to go viral. He wanted his message to be heard, and he got heard. And Shannon Sharp platform is now going to be the safe haven for people to drop bombshells and drop, clue bombs, as Charlemagne, always says. A lot of people are going to go there now to speak their truth, whether you believe it or not. People are going to go there to speak their truth now, because Katt Williams has opened that door. You know what I'm saying? And there's been other interviews before Katt Williams where people went on there and talked, but this one I think it just opened up so much that people are going to go there and speak their truth and talk. You know what I'm saying? Speak what's on their mind. You know what I'm saying? Whether they, talking about somebody else or just speaking about their life. People are going to go to Club Shay Shay now, and his platform is going to take a turn now. My personal opinion.
So what do you make of, like, everybody, not everybody, but there's like a group of people who were kind of like criticizing Shannon Sharp's interviewing style, like they didn't think he was pressing too hard enough and stuff like that. What do you think of that?
But what did he have to press? Like, there was nothing to press. Like, Katt was giving all the good up.
Well, just like the pushback, like the pushback with like some of the stuff he was saying. Like, I guess people wanted him to be more of like kind of like a Dateline, like interview style. But I don't.
But if you know Shannon Sharp and you watch Club Shay Shay, that's just not how he operates.
No, yeah,
he's on there because he's not, and like he said on Nightcap, he's not a journalist. He's a conversation. It was a conversation. It's two men sitting down having a drink and having a conversation. Yeah, you got to jazz it up and make a TV with the cards and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's no different from watching your two uncles sitting up there just rapping, and that's all they were doing. They was just in there talking. And just Katt Williams came with the smoke.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think the only criticism I would have had with him is I wish he would have just put down the cards and then just kind of I think he needed to ad lib a little bit more, just talk. You know what I'm saying? But overall, man, I thought Shannon Sharp did a great job.
I think he did fine, man.
Yeah, I think with these comedians, man, you know what I mean? Like, I wish we can get to a point with them with some solidarity. You know what I mean? I get the
Yeah.
whole instance with you know, like even Bernie Mac said it, you know what I mean, in like a old interview I saw like a clip of where he literally just said, man, like don't tell your jokes in front of other comedians, because you know what I mean, they're if they like the joke, they're gonna find a way to, you know what I mean, rephrase it, reword
Tweak
it,
it.
make it a little better, tweak it a little bit better, you know what I mean? Because you know, you saw some discussions like on Twitter that you know, some people were like, yeah, Cedric may have stole the joke, but his version was better. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it might have been, you know what I mean? Like I don't think Cedric the Entertainer is not funny. Like when I remember when I
Yeah.
first watched Kings of Comedy, I thought he was obviously the star of the show was Bernie Mac. I think Bernie Mac was the one that really made it as infamous as it was, you know what I'm saying? Just with his stand-up alone. I thought Cedric was the second funniest on that. You know what I mean? Me
Yeah,
personally,
I do
like
too.
Steve Harvey was more of like a host. Like he, you know, he cracked his
Yeah.
jokes a little bit when he was going into the crowd, and that was funny too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and you know, DL, I'm not gonna sit here and shit on DL Hughley. I think DL Hughley did his thing. Overall, it was one of the most infamous stand-up comedy shows we've ever had. You know what I mean? And it was a moment. You know what I mean? I remember just you know, sitting around with my family watching it, and we watched it multiple times, laughing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just that time, I think, where it was just like peak of as far as like with the stand-up game, because I think around that time you had Kings of Comedy. You know, I think you had a couple new Dave Chappelle's. I think Martin Lawrence had his. Obviously you had the old Eddie Griffins, the Richard Pryors, and stuff like that. You know, I wish I was kind of intrigued. I didn't know. I know he kind of said something about Comic View getting reestablished when Kevin Hart, I guess, purchasing the brand and stuff like that. And then I'm pretty excited to see that. I think that would be really good for the comedian aspects of it. You know what I mean? I think we do have some nice up and coming artists, comedians, my apologies, comedians that are coming up. I think they need more of a platform like a Comic View. I think that would be kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? I get we live in the times where, you know, you got to kind of be like, you know, PC on what you got to say a little bit, but you know, you still have your comedians, man, that don't really care, man. They're going to say what they want to say. I.e., you know, Katt Williams, Dave Chappelle just had his stand up. I haven't gotten a chance to finish it yet, but you know, some people have some mixed reactions with that. But you know, getting back to the Katt Williams thing, man. You know, shout out to him, man. I said he brought in 2024 in with a bang, man. So you know, if this is just the start of 2024, I can only imagine what's going to happen, you know, the next 11 months, you know, coming up, you know, here this year. So
yeah, and my, you know, bottom line is this: that regardless of what Katt, I mean, this is Katt's moment, but at the end of the day, none of these dudes are going to lose money. Steve Harvey's not going to lose any money. Cedric the Entertainer's not going to lose any money. Ricky Smiley's not going to. His radio show's not going to get, you know, lose viewership. Fans of them are going to still check on them. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and
yeah, they got their bases. Like, what do you think about the whole dress shit? Sorry to cut you off. What do you think about the whole, like, you know, the whole putting the black men in the dress and, you know,
do I think that white executives in a weird, strange way get off on seeing black men in the dress? I do. I think that they, I think it's some strange way. I think they think that shit's funny. Like, you know, let's not be, you know, coy about it. There's black people funny and there's white people funny. And for some odd reason, white men think that, you know, men wearing that dress, it's just funny to them. You know what I'm saying? And to us, it might not be that funny. I mean, it depends on how it's presented. Of course, we thought Wanda was funny. We thought Shanae was funny. But it was more so the personality than him just wearing a dress, walking around here acting like a woman. It was like it was everything in totality of those characters. Whereas in executive white men, for some odd reason, they just like seeing a black man in the dress. That's just like slapstick, slap your knee funny to them. And look, if that's what you feel like you need to do to get ahead in the business, to each his own. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna judge you for it, because at the end of the day, we sit and we watch the movie, we laugh at it. You know what I'm saying? We laughed at Big Mama House. You know what I'm saying? For those who watch Medea, even from the plays, we watched Medea and we laughed. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't sit there and judge Tyler Perry for it. We just laughed at it because we, you know what I'm saying? He played the character to a T. You know what I'm saying? And there's been other instances of people playing women when we laughed at Joanna Man. We sat and laughed at that movie. You
White
know what I'm saying?
chicks, yeah.
White chicks. We
Yeah.
that's one of that movie is up there for a lot of people. They watch that and you don't judge the Wayne brothers for dressing up like two white girls. You know what I'm saying? It's a movie. You know what I'm saying? So to each his own. Who feel like what I'm saying that's that's funny to them. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we all laugh at that. And if they feel like they have to wear that dress to get ahead in their career, to each his own. If I was in Hollywood, I wouldn't particularly wear no dress, but that's just me. That don't mean I'm trying to say I'm better than the person who does wear the dress. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That just says for me and my views. You know what I'm saying? Myself, I'm just not. I wouldn't put no dress on. But how about you?
No, I totally agree with you. I do believe in Hollywood there is like some kind of weird infatuation of putting a man in a dress. Like, I know people bring up the whole situation where, there are even white men that have worn dresses, you got Keanu Reeves, you had the whole thing of, Mrs. Doubtfire, Robert Williams, Matthew McConaughey, so on and so on, so forth. And I get it, man. That's a whole different plight, man. You know what I mean? In the sense of like, it's not the same, as what a white male actor goes through compared to a black male actor goes through. You know what I mean? So
they don't have to put the dress on to get ahead.
They don't. They do not. I agree with you 100%. I'm not going to sit here and act like what I know goes on in Hollywood. I've never stepped on a Hollywood set. No, I don't know. I don't know too many people in Hollywood. You know what I mean? If at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know a couple people who've done some things, but nothing like on like a serious scale. Like I know, like like a Michael B. Jordan or some shit. But but overall, man, as I said, to each his own. Like if you feel like that's what you need to do and you want to progress your career, and there's a part where you have to wear a dress or something like that. And if you want to do it, do it. I said, I don't sit here and, look down on a person that wears a dress. You know what I'm saying? There's been plenty of successful actors that we've, bigged up, Jamie Foxx, Martin Lawrence, all of them, you know what I mean? In the sense of like, we never really judged them in their character on what they would, if they wanted to wear the dress or not, you know what I mean? At the same time, it's like, if you don't wear that dress and, that other person that comes along and does do it and becomes successful, you don't want to kind of hate on that shit at the same time, you know what I mean? Because some of the shit that Katt Williams did say was a little bit of hate, you know what I mean? Like, and to each his own, you know what I mean? I'm not going to follow anybody's, opinion to another man, you know what I'm saying? So overall, man, I'm curious to see what kind of more reactions we get out of this. I'm sure there's going to be way more reaction to it. So what'd you think about the Ludacris rap? What would you rate? What would you rate the rap though, man? What would you give that rap?
I mean, it wasn't his best freestyle.
Nah. Just for some like bullshit.
We're not putting that on the top 10 list of freestyles in 2024 or nothing.
Facts, yeah.
I mean, he doing what he was comfortable doing and he was rapping about it. He touched on it a little bit, but I would have rather see Ludacris just talk and just say, speak his piece. You know what I'm saying? Do I think Ludacris cut his braids off and join the Illuminati? I don't think so. I just think he was going for a new mature look for the movies and, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to cut the braids off. How many of our homies have had braids and cut their braids off? You know what I'm saying? Trying to go for a different look. Maybe he's trying to switch it up. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit up here and say he took some initiation. I got to cut my braids off and take these $250 billion to do these Fast and Furious movies. Because at the time, I wouldn't even say they knew what they was going to do. Like, I think they was just going as they go. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he was just joining some Illuminati initiation. Like I said, I just think that he cut his braids off for the look of the movie. Maybe they wanted him to cut his braids off for the movie. You never know. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
It's just motherfuckers driving in cars at this point, whether it's in outer space or in Jurassic Park.
Like, I mean, the character might have needed a look, had to have that look. I don't know. So
no, I get it. I hear what you're saying. Shout out to Katt, man. I'm curious. Does he have a stand up coming up anytime soon? I know he's on tour. I know he was just out here like a couple weeks ago or something like that.
He just on tour. I just saw a video of him, Mark Curry. I guess Mark Curry's on the tour with him. So
Yeah, for
maybe.
sure. Like he did a lot of that too. That's another great thing. You know, what I mean, he bigged up other comedians. You know, what I mean, he did big up Mark Curry. You know, he obviously bigged up Bernie Mac and some other younger comedians coming up. There are like a lot of other people that have came out and verified his stories. You know what I'm saying? Where how Katt Williams is a very giving individual. You know what I mean? Like if he messes with you, like he'll fuck with you. I think even Lil Bootsy said something where he gave him like 15,000 where he came out of jail or some shit. You know what I mean? He even knows.
Corey Holcomb said that Katt Williams stole JB Smooth's joke. So
yeah.
And they showed the clip. You know what I'm saying? So I think they all tell each other, like, tweak something, they like something, they tweak it a little bit, and I can make that joke better. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree. I'm just more on the side where I think Katt Williams is telling more of the truth than telling more fabrications, and to me that just goes with a lot of the reaction that's coming towards him right now. But I think Shannon needs to go ahead and give Katt Williams a great gift because he literally put Shannon's show as probably the #1 podcast show.
I like supply of Le Portier.
Nah, he needs to get more than that. He needs to get more than that. So he need to get Katt Williams a great gift, man, because he didn't gave him one for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's switch it up, man. Let's go to the NFL. Week 18. Now, we ain't going to get into all the games because all these games did not matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of them was just out there playing. Some of them sat a lot of people. I know my Chiefs says, most of the starters out there. Shout out to Chris Jones for getting his sack, getting his $2.5 million. The sideline was happy for him and all that stuff. So I'm happy for Chris Jones. But let's just dive into some games that that were important. Let's start with the Colts and the Texans. That game was very important because the winner got in and had a possibility to win the division too if Jacksonville lost. And we'll get into Jacksonville in a minute. What were your overall thoughts on that Colts and Texans?
I kind of said it. I had a feeling CJ Stroud was going to go in there, man. I just think he's just a better quarterback. Compared. It was a really great game, but I think overall, the Texans were just a better team. You can see the impact Will Anderson had. You can see the impact CJ Stroud had. That defense played pretty well. They got that stop at the end. Obviously, I saw reports of I don't know the running back's name from the Colts. I guess he was very emotional after the game because he missed the catch. And me personally, I think it was more so on Minshew than it was on him. And then on the same time, it's
Shane
just like
Steichen said it.
Yeah, and then at the same time, it's like I don't think it's fair to him that he was not even in the game. That was like his first rep in the game, and then it's one of the biggest possessions in the game. So I don't know why they took Jonathan Taylor out. I really don't get that. They only needed 2 yards, but to me it was more of a misthrow than anything else. I thought the better team just won. You know what I mean? Like CJ Stroud is amazing. He's definitely the rookie of the year. I think Puka is definitely a close second because Puka has been amazing as well too. So I'm pretty excited, man, for that game coming up for sure. So should be cool.
Yeah, man. I'm right there with you. Nico Collins was just destroying that secondary. They couldn't do nothing with him. CJ Stroud was just targeting him, and he was wide open pretty much most of the game. But on the flip side, Jonathan Taylor was running all over the Texans, and it was a back and forth for a little bit there. The Colts had a chance to march down the field and possibly tie the game. Was it tie the game?
No, they could have took the lead because Fairburn missed the extra point.
Yes, right. It could, so it would have been 24-23. You're right. Shane Steichen, I think he blew it by calling a timeout. Like, if he didn't call that timeout, even if he does drop that pass, at least they got all 3 of their timeouts, and they possibly could have, called time, use those 3 timeouts more time on the clock to possibly get the ball back. So it's all Shane Steichen need to look himself as much as he looked, because you saw it on the sideline. He told Gardner Minshew, "That's on you." He told that to Gardner Minshew. So, and as far as the kid, man, I felt you're right. That pass was right. It was low. It was behind him. It was a tough catch to make, and for a kid who has not been in the game, no reps whatsoever, and you put him in a big spot like that, you set him up for failure. Like,
No, yeah, yeah.
come on, man. And I felt bad for the kid because the Colts fans, fans are ruthless and they're gonna be get him out of here, and talking about the
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
The kid, I know he was emotional. You could tell, and shout out to him for being, strong enough to still stand in front of them bullets of the reporters and talk to the reporters and tell them, hey, it's on me. I messed up and hit my hands. He didn't throw nobody on the bus. He could have clearly said, oh, the pass was a little low, but still, no, he said, I hit my hands in the drop. He was like, I'm going to go see my parents because they're the only ones that probably like me. And it was just like, damn, I felt bad for the kid. But overall, the better team did win. I'd rather see Houston in the wild card than the Colts.
Yeah, for sure. I think it also showed the bright future for both teams too. You know what I mean? Like Colts will get Anthony Richardson back. They'll be able to add some more pieces to that team. Texans, obviously, they're going to add more pieces. Obviously, Will Anderson needs a little bit more help on that D line. I think I think they need to get better in the linebacker position. But all those pieces that CJ Stroud is missing, you know what I mean? Tank Dell's out, you know what I mean? Imagine if they had him too. You know what I mean? This team is going to be a very explosive team. I think the Texans, they're going to be running that division for a little bit, you know what I mean? Depending on, if them Jazz can get that shit in line, you know what I mean? So
and don't be surprised. There'll be a lot of offseason free agents that want to go play for Houston. Now that CJ Stroud is there. 100%. There's going to be a lot of defensive players, veterans and young guys,
it's friendly on your money too. It's friendly on your money too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And it's Houston. So
it's Houston, dog. You know what I'm saying? Can't go wrong.
So yeah, I could see a lot of free agents trying to go over to Houston. But shout out to D'Amico Ryans, man, for the coaching job that he's done this year, man. First year coaching and taking his team to the playoffs, and being very competitive this year. You saw him in the hallway after he hugged the player. You just saw him taking it all in.
You think he should be coach of the year?
I'm not mad if they name him coach of the year. But I still think Kevin Stefanski might edge him just because of what Kevin Stefanski went through at the quarterback position, from going from Deshaun Watson to P.J. Walker to rookie to now you got Flacco in there, and he still kept this team afloat. You know what I'm saying? Like, there should be any other team. There's no way Cleveland should be in the playoffs right now with all the quarterback problems they've had. They should not be.
You could say the same for the Texans too. You literally had a rookie quarterback. You know what I mean? The team they had last year was, you know what I mean? And I think I'm curious to know the order of. I don't know if they released the order of how the votes went. But I'm curious to see where Stefanski is, and Sean McVay and everybody else, how that order is.
We won't see that to the awards show.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, but I'm just curious to see like what the order is. You know what I mean? Because I even think Sean McVay deserves some recognition for what he's done with that squad too.
I agree. Right, man. Let's get to this next game, man. The Jags versus the Titans. Yeah. Jacksonville dropped the ball. The Titans they did whatever they wanted.
They were 8-3, right? They were 8-3 at one time, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
They dropped their last 5, I think. 5 of their last 6. And Trevor Lawrence didn't, he missed some throws. I know he's dealing with the shoulder injury, and I know he's probably still dealing with that ankle injury. So I'm not going to kill Trevor Lawrence too much. I know he's dealing with injuries. But something's going to have to change next year. If Trevor Lawrence is going to be this guy that was deemed since his freshman year of Clemson, being this generational, talent, what I'm saying, that we look at, and he's going to be the next up, what I'm saying, after, up there with Patrick Mahomes and the Joe Burrows and the Josh Allens and all those guys. Something's going to have to change. Something's going to have to click for this team next year, and for us to look at them as like one of those teams. Because right now, they're a good team, but they're not a scary team. With all those weapons, they should be. Calvin Ridley, Ingram, Christian Kirk. I know he got hurt, but still, like when they're fully healthy,
Yeah.
ETN, like, come on, man. Like, Josh Allen played out of his mind this year. Like, I think he's the sack leader this year. So,
Mm-hmm.
man, I'm just saying, there's something that's got to change next year. I don't know. Trevor Lawrence got to take that step, but it's something that we got to see in these guys because they dropped the ball. All they had to do was win the game, and they were in, and they won. They would have won the division.
So if you had to do a blame pie, who gets majority of the pie?
I mean, you got to stop at the top, and that's the head coach, Dougie P.
Okay.
I mean, definitely Dougie P. Because I don't feel like he got the most out of his offense. Like, you see this offense, you would think they could score at least like Cincinnati. You know
Would
what I'm
you
saying? With all those weapons that they got.
would you especially with all the big name candidates that could potentially be out there for being hired, do you think the Jags should consider firing Doug Peterson?
No, I
If
think
you
they
can
should
get
give him
like
one
a
more year.
Belichick or a Harbaugh, if Harbaugh
No,
was interested, if Belichick was interested.
I think you should give WP one more year. Give him one more
Okay.
year. Give him one more year. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he dropped the ball at the end, but give him one more year. And let's see if we can turn this thing around. Get some more guys in there. They need some dogs. That's what they need. They need a dog in there. You know what I'm saying? Somebody will be like, "Yo, give me the damn ball."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I
Or
agree
a
with
dude
you.
on the other than Josh Allen, they need another dog. They need some dogs in there. So, I mean, I like Andre Cisco. He's a dog for sure. But they need some other dogs in that room, in that locker room. Because I don't know. Trevor Lawrence doesn't strike me as he doesn't have that to him, like I'm gonna go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's you can see the talent, but I need him to take that
He's a
next
winning
step.
quarterback. Look, Trevor Lawrence is a
Yeah.
winning quarterback. He showed that in college. He showed that here.
Yeah.
Obviously, he hasn't won a Super Bowl, nothing like that. If I was a Jags organization, if I got like a little wink from either Harbaugh or another big coach that I was eyeing for that I thought could potentially take the team over, I would strongly consider it because I think Doug Peterson's kind of heading. He has this trend where he starts off really well, but then he starts slowly fading away with these teams. You kind of saw with the Eagles as well. So I would consider it. I don't think that's the route that would go happen because I don't see Harbaugh or Belichick considering going to the Jags at all. But I agree with you for the most part. I do think they need to add more to that D line. Their cornerbacks, they were kind of hit and miss all year. The thing with the O line, they definitely got to fix the O line. They got to do something with that O line for sure because Trevor Lawrence was getting killed. Travis Etienne could barely even run through the gaps. You know what I'm saying? So I think on the outside, I think they're perfectly fine. I don't think they need to add more to that. Obviously, Christian Kirk was hurt for part of the year as well. So the Jags fumbled it, man. You know what I mean? And it's going to be tough for them because you got two other teams in that division that are only going to get better with the Colts and the Texans. You know what I'm saying? If I had to choose, I think C.J. Stroud is probably the best quarterback in that division. We still don't know what's up with Anthony Richardson. I think Anthony Richardson has a lot of promise depending on how they develop him. So, and I think the Colts have a pretty good track record as far as like developing, quarterbacks in a sense. So, we got to see what's up. We got to see what's up with the Jags. You know what I mean? I'm kind of curious to see how their off season goes. I'm kind of curious to see if they change any OCs, DCs, or anything like that with players they upgrade with. So, we'll see what's up, man. But it's not really a good look for them today, for sure.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. All right, man. Let's switch it up to the Eagles, and they just faced the Giants. They was down 24-0 before the half. They took all their starters out by that time. I know Jalen Hurts, he got hurt. AJ Brown got hurt. It was just a bad look, and they have not looked good the past several weeks.
No,
And it just like they're spiraling. I don't know if Nick Sirianni has lost his locker room, but
they even lost Sidney
I
Brown to
have
an ACL tear too.
yeah, I saw that too. So and that defense was already bad enough.
Mhm.
So now you just lost another guy. Like I don't know, man. They look like one and done. They look like they're one and done, and it looks like I posed this question last episode about Nick Sirianni getting him out of there, but it's like, Oh no, man. Hopefully, I don't know if he can survive this. I don't know because it wouldn't look good. They just look in disarray right now, and maybe they'll chalk it up to injuries and Jalen Hurts is more hurt than what he's putting on, and maybe they get some more personnel and the coaching staff to help out or whatever. But something's got to change.
They should have never switched to Matt Patricia. They should have never switched to fucking Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia is terrible. Stop putting these Patriots, OCs, DCs in these positions, bro. They're not good coaches. They're not good head coaches, and then some of them are really not good OCs or DCs. Like, it's kind of surprising how bad the D line is. They ain't getting no pressure. It's surprising how it's pretty much the two lines that are surprising because the Philly O line and D line should be top 3 at least, top 5. You know what I mean? And both units have just been looking terrible. Like they haven't really looked good. Kelsey out there, he looked like he aging quick. Johnson out there looking like he aging quick. Obviously, you can tell the confidence level in the offense is literally at an all-time low. Jalen Hurts, I think, has been hurt most of the year for me. And then obviously, he hurt his finger, looked kind of disgusting. So I don't know if he broke it or what, or if it was just a dislocation. I don't know. I don't know the word on AJ Brown either. If he cannot go next week, that's going to be a huge loss. You already got Devontae Smith. I think he's battling like a foot or ankle injury or something like that. It's not looking good. I think they'll give him another year, but he's going to be truly on the hot seat next year for sure. For sure. It's as far as like all the money they've invested into this team, they're gonna have to figure some stuff out, man, for sure. It's not looking good. At the same time, I know we're probably gonna preview the playoffs here in a little bit, but the Bucs ain't playing good either. You know what I mean? They could barely score against the goddamn Panthers. So that game on Monday night, I'm gonna ask you when we start previewing the playoffs. But I was very curious how they fucking scheduled these games. Like my God, like they should have put the goddamn Eagles and Bucks on Peacock. Fuck, not the Chiefs and Dolphins. That's just crazy. But we'll talk about that down the show. Yeah. It's not looking good for the Eagles, man, at all. So
at all.
That's my boy. That's my homie Flanagan, man. I know he hurting right now. So he hurting right now, man. Shout out to
shout out to Flanagan, man. I feel bad for man because it's not looking good for him.
No, it's not, man, at all.
I don't really want to touch on the game too much. I mean, shout out to the Packers. They got in. Jordan Love, he had a pretty decent game. But I also want to talk about the Bears. They look like Justin Fields. Justin Fields is pretty much saying farewell.
Yeah, I saw his. I think it was his post game.
He
kind of was like thanking.
It felt like he was on his way out. I know before I said keep Justin Fields, but as the weeks have gone on, I've actually changed my mind. I do think they should draft Caleb Williams and start over, even with the coaching staff. I think they get Eberflus up out of there, get somebody else up in there.
They said they're keeping him.
They need to get all. I guess, man, but definitely draft Caleb Williams and just build around him. Try to get some offensive pieces. I mean, they got DJ Moore, so that's a great start. Definitely need to get another wide receiver up in there, but definitely go get Caleb Williams and start over. You know what I'm saying? Let Ryan Poles definitely put more of his imprint in there, because I think he was working with some of the last regime's pieces, and now he can kind of have an off season where he can put his people and players, his vision in place. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this. I get Caleb Williams I've been bigging up Caleb Williams for a couple years now. He didn't look too good this summer or this fall. So if after the combine, and after their workouts, and you see, Jaden Daniels looking really good, you see Michael Penix looking really good. I get Michael Penix has had the injury history. Drake May looking really good. Would you consider trading down to like maybe number 2, number 3, maybe adding another first round pick, maybe 2, to beef up more of your team and maybe draft, a Drake May or Michael Penix or Jaden Daniels, or would you just stick with Caleb Williams?
Get Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams.
I'm not like, me. I ain't saying any Patrick Mahomes. But if you get a Patrick Mahomes, like
you take him, yeah, I feel you.
Pass on that, buddy. Like 8 teams. Was it 9 teams? Whatever. I forgot where we picked that, but wherever we picked that, so many teams passed on Patrick Mahomes. You don't want to be that team, and Chicago was one of them. You don't want to do it again.
No, I feel you. So what's your like confidence meter in Fields? Like, does it depend on the team he goes to, coach, and all that, or yeah?
It depends on the team. We got to see what they're gonna do with Atlanta. They just fired Arthur Smith, so
don't forget my Raiders, dog.
Yeah, your Raiders too. But there's gonna be a whole new regime over there. We will see with your Raiders. Are they gonna keep Antonio Pierce? Are they gonna try to go get Jim Harbaugh? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Go after one. Maybe they go young. Maybe they go after Ben Johnson or something like that. I don't know, but I can. I think it depends. If Justin Fields, if Eric Bieniemy, for example, goes to the Falcons, I think he would be good for Justin Fields. I think he would be good for Justin Fields. Because he was going to demand the best out of Justin Fields. You know that accountability will not be a question. You know what I'm saying? In Justin Fields and on that team. So, and he's an offensive-minded coach. So and I think that's what Justin Fields needs. He needs an offensive-minded coach. He don't need to go nowhere. A defensive-minded coach who wants to play good defense and run the football. Like, nah, that's not gonna work. Like, he needs somebody who's got an offense that's open, spread the ball out, get, you know what I'm saying, receivers the ball. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it depends on where it's at. I would like to see him in Atlanta, but it depends on the head coach.
So with the Bears, they obviously all right. So you want them to take Caleb Williams with the first pick. What do you think they should do with their second pick? They have another top 10 pick. So what do you think they should do with that?
Offensive line. Protect Caleb Williams. I get it. He's elusive. He can run around. He can make off throws, but you don't want him to live and die by that. You know what I'm saying? You want him to be protected. Go get a left tackle. You still can get you a very good left tackle at number 10. Okay. So get you solidify that left side of the line, and boom, and you can get, because this wide receiver draft is deep. You can get you a number 2 wide receiver in the second and third round. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Depending on what they do to Darnell Mooney, whatever. But I'm just saying, you can get you a very good wide receiver in the second and third round to be the number 2 to DJ Moore, because you already got your number 1 in DJ Moore. You got that going for you. So and you need to add pieces to this defensive line. Montez Sweat did look good, in some games. So you got your defensive end that can get after the quarterback. Get you another guy that can help him out, because he's going to get double teamed. So get you another young stud in the draft. Maybe that's your second pick, but something on the line on either side. You know what I'm saying? Or
you think,
a wide receiver.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you good. Yeah.
Do you think your boy might be a Bear, Chris Jones? Could you see that?
Yeah, I could see it. I could see if I do think they tried to attempt to talk to Chris Jones before March. I do think they sit at the table and say, hey, see if they could work something out. You know what I'm saying? I think it does show good faith that they did play him and let him get his incentives. You know what I'm saying? Instead of sitting there and he didn't get his money. So I think that was good favor for him to, what I'm saying? Now that's good morale for Chris Jones, because he's like, oh, the Chiefs took care of me. You know what I'm saying? So he may be able to sit at the table now and be like, hey, I might take a little off the top. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying he will. I'm not saying he should. I'm just saying he might be like, I'll take a little off the top. You know what I'm saying? I want to remain a Chief. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I do think but if they don't get nothing done, I could see him in Chicago. I do see him in Chicago.
I was curious to hear your thoughts.
Because there is a connection with Ryan Poles, who used to be a front office guy with us. So there is already a connection there. So
yeah, for sure.
So, all right, let's talk about this last game, man. Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins. I'm tell you this right now. Josh Allen did everything in the beginning of the game to get that game.
Hey man, that bet anytime pick, boy, that's just like golden, boy. That's just golden, man.
I said it worked. I said, man, if Josh Allen anytime pick is money, baby.
That shit's money, but you could have made so much money off that. You could have made so much money this year off that pick alone.
Him and Patrick Mahomes, damn it.
Yeah, facts.
On the ticket. Nah, but in the first half, he was horrible. He was bad. He was just throwing picks. Threw them 2 bad picks. First one was bad. The second one was bad. Then he fumbles the football with the strip sack. But Miami didn't do nothing to capitalize on them. Really, none of them. I mean, it was just like Miami probably should have been up by more. You know what I'm saying? I get it. They banged up. They didn't, Waddle's banged up. Even Tyreek Hill's banged up. He's limping around, not really healthy, probably like at 85%. That defensive line is decimated. They was losing. I think they lost a linebacker or a corner or somebody yesterday. It was bad. It was bad. And it's just Buffalo did what they were supposed to do. Josh Allen made the throws that he needed to make at the end of the game, and that's all that matters in the fourth quarter. As bad as you play, in the fourth quarter, if you have a chance to win, does your best player rise to the occasion? And hey, I gotta get just as much as I'm gonna kill Josh Allen, I'm gonna give him his credit. He made some throws, and Kincaid. Let me tell you something. I know we talk about Laporte, and Laporte, rightfully so, but Kincaid, he's next up too.
Trust me, I know. I had him on my goddamn fantasy, and they stopped throwing him the goddamn ball. That's one of the reasons why I lost my fucking fantasy championship shit. Trust me, I know.
Kincaid is next up, and hey, it's not even close. I was my Chiefs would have drafted Kincaid. So, but yeah, Kincaid, he got the touchdown, and I knew from the punt return that it was over. I knew right then and then. I said, yeah, this game's over.
Yeah.
And then, and even with Tua, he had a chance. And but I tell you this, and Tyreek Hill, I get it. You know what I'm saying? That play, he kind of did get help. But he catches that ball. He's taking that to the house.
Nah, yeah.
And we might be talking about a different game. But that punt return kind of flipped the momentum. And defensive, but Tua made some bad throws too. That throw to Chase Claypool, I don't know what he was doing, just throwing it to double coverage. Throw it away, man. Throw it out of bounds. You got other downs. I don't get why quarterbacks sometimes do that. They panic and they feel like they got to get all in one play. And it's like you got one more, you got 2 other downs. It's 4th down territory. You got 2 other downs, man. That was second down, and you threw this pick. Like that was a bad pick too. Come on, man. Throw the ball away if you don't see it.
Yeah.
So. Or, there was some guy. I feel like there was some couple guys like kind of open in the middle, but you could have got the ball too. But that's neither here nor there. But trying to throw it to Chase Claypool, and the safety clearly beat Chase to his route, and you still throw it? Like, come on, Tua. That was on you. You had a chance to tie that game up, and you could have lived to see another down. So, but hey, Buffalo win. Kudos to them. They didn't. They were really just more so because Jacksonville lost, so they was already in the playoffs. They were more so playing for seeding. They're the 2 seed. They get the Steelers, which if I'm the Buffalo Bills, that's what I want to see in the first round. You know what I'm saying? The wild card. So, and Miami's traveling to Arrowhead to face my Chiefs. So there's that. So.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask a question. It might sound sacrilegious right now. It might. With the position that the Dolphins are in, especially how hurt they are, I get it. They want the home field advantage. But don't you think it might have been just a little bit smart to hold out Tyreek Hill and just get him healthy for just the playoffs? Like, you made it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying sit down all your starters, but sit him down at least. You know what I mean? Give him an extra week to rest the ankle. Don't try to jeopardize him because that's literally your offense right there. I'm assuming they'll get Waddle and Raheem Mostert back for the playoffs. I think they're definitely going to target them to try to get them to play. There's a lot of reports saying that Waddle was moving pretty well. Would you just did that and then just whatever happens? Like, you know what I mean? Like still play to it and all that, but just sit Tyreek Hill down. Because he did get banged up again yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
No, you clearly see he was limping around. He got that one hit when he I think he caught the ball. Didn't he catch the ball? I think so. And then he came back up and he was limping off the field. And he was limping the whole game after that. So do I think they should have sat him? I don't know. Because I understand you're trying to play for position and you want to win the division. But you want to wear the t-shirts and hats.
I get it. Like, trust me, I get it. And I get it that the Dolphins play better at home. But at the same time, I feel like Tyreek Hill is way more important. Even if you, let's say they did win, but then Tyreek Hill can't play the next week, it's not going to be good because you're going to play the Bills again, and they're just going to be even more comfortable playing with you. You know what I mean? I'm like, at least have a healthy Tyreek Hill. If you have a healthy Tyreek Hill, a healthy Jalen Waddle, a healthy Raheem Mostert, I get the defensive side is just, it's pretty much just, it is what it is at that point. Like, there's no saving the defense at this point because they've been traumatized with injury just too late in the year. That's not going to fix whatever problems that they have. Like, unless Jalen Ramsey just turns into old Jalen Ramsey, he's just locking people up, causing turnovers, type of stuff like that. But Tyreek Hill is the most important person on that team. I just think they should have just sat him down, and then whatever happens, happen. Either you're playing the Bills again in Buffalo, which you did that last year, and you should have won last year in Buffalo with how cold it was in the snow. So I don't think that should deplete your confidence. You know what I mean? Now you're gonna go in with a healthy Tua, a healthy Tyreek. I feel like you'd be confident doing that. You're not scared to play the Bills. And then if you win, then you'll be playing. You know what I mean? Or if you lose, then you'll be playing the Chiefs. Which is like, I get it, but you know what I mean? Like, Chiefs really aren't scaring nobody right now, especially on the offensive side. Their defense is probably the most scariest thing on that team, but you know what I mean? We've seen them be beat a little bit here and there on the defensive side. So it's not like they're the scary team like they were last year or the year before that. You know what I mean? Even Patrick Mahomes hasn't been really Patrick Mahomes this year. You know what I mean? So I just think they should have just sat him, man. Me personally, I think that would have been a smarter move.
Yeah, because now they limping into Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Now Tyreek Hill is limping into Arrowhead, and that cold weather ain't gonna make that cold weather ain't gonna make that injury any better.
Better. He need to fly to Germany and do that blood swirl shit, put it back in his ankle and hope it heals, bro. That's what he needs to do. But we'll see.
Yeah. But hey, man. Yeah, overall it was a decent weekend, some games, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I said, most of them didn't count, but the ones that did, they did live up to the billing. So
for sure.
I ain't gonna really do offensive player, defensive player, because really wasn't. I mean, I guess offensive player, I would say CJ Stroud.
I say CJ Stroud. Defense, I would probably say
I'll be biased and give it to Chris Jones because he got his money. It
wasn't gonna be TJ Watt until he hurt his fucking knees.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so Steelers. We're gonna talk about John Wednesday with Shep. Talk about how he ain't gonna like it either.
Nah.
All right, man. Let's switch to boxing, bro, because there's a lot going.
Yeah.
And before we get into the actual boxing matches that are happening, let's talk about Earl Spence.
Let's talk about Earl Spence fans. Let's do that.
I guess today he got surgery on his right eye, cataract.
Yeah.
But he said that he's been doing this before the Terrence Crawford fight, and that's why he couldn't see. And the Ray Jacksons was gonna come out. See, I told you, his ribs in his eye. Look, man, Errol Spence fans, give it up, man. If that man didn't have cataracts or not, he was getting beat down, man. Just accept it. Just accept it. And Errol Spence, don't go fight Terrence Crawford again, man. Just I think you should just let it go, man. Go hold Denver out.
I'm trying really hard not to go off on Spence too. I'm really trying because at the end of the day, bro, like you cannot sit here and use that as an excuse. Me personally, I think Terrence Crawford whooped your ass to the point you needed to get fucking surgery. That's why your ass ain't been in the fucking gym. You know what I mean? You had to let your body heal up before you could get goddamn surgery. As far as the fans, I'm not even gonna speak on the fans. They're fucking delusional. Like I've been seeing that thing on Twitter all day. Oh, this just proves it. You know what I mean? Terrence Crawford could only beat Spence with a hurt eye and this, and I'm like, oh my god, bro, come on, man. Y'all weren't saying that to fight before. He ain't had cataract surgery to fight before. You know what I mean? So my whole thing is like, if you're gonna go make that as an excuse, it just, to me, it just really shows how bad Terrence Crawford broke down Spence and his fan base. I don't think Errol Spence is gonna be the same, bro. I really don't. Obviously, with the 2 car accidents, he was kind of already like slowing down a little bit off of that. Justifiably so, man. Those were 2 horrific accidents that he's lucky to even still be here. You know what I mean? So bless the Lord for that. But to me, I think this just really solidifies that the rematch it's over. I don't think we're getting a rematch. I think it's too impossible. I don't think Terrence Crawford's going to sit around. Who knows how long the recovery is for that cataract surgery? I think it's not going to be a quick recovery process for that. And then on top of that, he hasn't been in the gym at all. So you got to figure out the weight he's at right now, the conditioning he's in right now. He hasn't fought since when was it, July that they fought? I think we're about to hit the 6-month mark. Or we might already be at the 6-month mark right now. So by the time the surgery's done, let's say healing, let's give him 2 months for that. Now you're talking about him getting March, him ramping up, probably taking about another 2 months for that. They got to sign the deal. And it's not happening, dog. So I'm curious to know what Terrence Crawford's going to do next. Maybe he might do the Charlo fight. That might be the thing. Maybe he might consider Boots Ennis just to say, forget it. Let me just whoop his ass real quick and just show that he ain't worth it either. No disrespect to Boots, because I know Boots can do his thing too. So I don't trust him. I'm not disrespecting Boots at all, but Terrence Crawford on a whole nother level that y'all not trying to see. And yeah, honestly, that's just kind of solidified for me with the whole thing. I'm not going to respond to the whole bullshit with his fans are saying. I get it, you're gonna ride for your boy, but that just means we're not getting the Crawford Spence fight at all. I don't think we're going to see that fight again.
Yeah, man, I don't either. I think it's over. And if it does happen, it's going to be later, in a later date. You know what I'm saying? Once he heals up, maybe he takes a tune-up fight.
Yep.
And then they set it up. But from Terrence Crawford, I'm moving on. I'm moving on.
Move up to 154 and call it a day.
Yeah. Fight Jamel Charlo and call it a day. So,
or hopefully he can find a motivation to fight again, because it doesn't seem like he's very motivated to fight right now.
Yeah,
but I don't know him. I don't know what's going on in his head.
I don't either. So now we got Ryan Garcia, some Oscar De La Hoya, some confusion in the camp now. First, it was supposed to be Ryan Garcia trying to get Devin Haney. But then he switched it up, said he wants to fight Rolly, which I understand. Then Oscar De La Hoya comes out. He's like, he hasn't heard anything about, he hasn't really talked to Ryan Garcia as far as him fighting Rolly. He was trying to set it up to where he had his other fighter, O'Hare Davies, fighting Rolly. But he didn't get knocked out in the first round by the old man who should have beat Rolly in the first fight.
Bro, look like he's 70 years old.
Yeah. So he's the mandatory now for Rolly. So we're probably going to get that rematch. Unless, unless he takes money and, moves aside for Ryan Garcia. What's your thoughts on the whole Ryan Garcia thing?
Well, I'm gonna start off with this. I know there's reports of him divorcing his baby mama right after she gave birth. I think that's a little crazy. But back to boxing news. To me, this smells like Mayweather. This smells like a Mayweather move to me. Because I didn't know there was kind of like rift between Mayweather and the Haneys, but it seems like there is. You know what I mean? You're starting to see Mayweather around Ryan Garcia a little bit more, which I think is really good for Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I think Mayweather can be one of the best teachers out there in the boxing game. You know what I mean? So I'm surprised he's not a corner man. I think eventually he might consider that. I don't know. But you know, back to this. Yeah, I think they put Haney in the corner though, because like, who's Haney gonna fight? That's gonna really logistically give him a pay-per-view. Honestly, besides Gervonta Davis, Garcia was probably the only one. You know, I don't think he's gonna fight Matisse. You know what I mean? I don't, unless you know Teofimo's already booked up, and he probably won't be available to fight until probably end of the summertime after his fight, depending on you know how bruised up he gets off of that. So I think it's a smart move by Garcia. Like, you know what I mean? Build it up a little bit. I think him and Rolly could be, I think that would be probably a pay-per-view fight. You know what I mean? Garcia gets the numbers. Yeah, that's kind of like my overall view with it. I think they just back Haney into a corner, and I'm curious to see what he's going to do now.
Speaking of Haney, talk about Bill Haney.
And Bernard.
So Bill Haney's at the fights, and Bernard Hopkins walks up to him and says, "Let's go talk in the bathroom."
Shit, like two uncles fighting.
Let's go talk in the bathroom. Bill Haney's like, "We need to go to the bathroom. You can talk to me like you stay right here. Like, hey, what you got to say? You can say it here." And you know, Bernard, you know, I guess he had his displeasure with the Haneys and you know the whole the whole situation, whatever. So then Bill Haney starts yelling, "Oh, Devin Haney is the greatest fighter, you know, best fighter at 147 or 140, and blah 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 blah." Bernard Hopkins shoulder bumps him, and they had to be broken up. Bill Haney, he didn't look shook. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "It's fine, it's cool, it's cool." You know what I'm saying? We will not be bullied by, you know, De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins, you know. So what was your thoughts when you saw that?
That the Haney's probably the most hated fucking group, family in boxing right now. That's what it seemed like to be. Overall, this looked like two crazy uncles fighting though. You know what I mean? Like this shit was fucking hilarious and shit. You know what I mean? Like, there ain't really much to it. Like, you know, it's just two old motherfuckers fighting and not getting along. So
I didn't understand why Bernard was got to do all that. Like, geez.
Bernard been on one lately though, man. You know, he did the whole thing with Garcia. Like he did. Now he's doing the whole thing with the Haneys and shit. I think that whole Hopkins De La Hoya team is just weird, man. You know what I mean? Like they literally alienated their biggest fighter that they had on their team. And then now it's just like, now you over here, you know, chest bumping with the Haneys and shit. Like, what are we doing, bro? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand what their ultimate goal is right now. If I was a fighter, why would you even want to sign with that team at this point? I get it's Oscar De La Hoya Promotions, but I'd rather be with PBC. I'd rather be with, you know, Top Rank, something. You know what I mean? They seem a little bit more.
I don't even like Bob Arum, but sign me
at
least with Top Rank. One thing I say about Bob Arum, you're gonna be on TV. You're never gonna get your fights.
Will. You know what I mean? You're gonna get your fights and stuff like that. But it just seems more just professional, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, man, boxing already in its own already has enough problems. You don't need this now added on to, you know, on the promoter side. You know what I mean? People already have preconceived notions on promoters as it is, man. So, yeah, I just don't know what the hell's going on over there.
Yeah, so it's weird at the 140. It's weird over there right now with the 140 guys. So
nah, for real, man.
140 is like a strange times right now.
This might be a strange year. Do you think this to me, it seems like it's gonna be a strange year in boxing, dog. It really does, man. Like, I know we're getting in a Fury Usyk fight here next month, but now with this Spence shit, that kind of kills that. You don't know what Ryan Garcia is gonna do. We still don't know what Tank's gonna do. What's going on? You know what I mean? Like, what is going on?
Because even with Tank, it's like, what's your move, bro? Like, I really don't want to see you fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really don't want to see that rematch. I get it. You want to show a better showing against him because you
Pitbull.
broke your hand. You broke your hand, and I don't want to see that. Now I did hear a fight Boots that actually like him and Mario Barros. That's a good fight for him. You know what I'm saying? 147. I do like that fight. I do like that
No,
fight.
yeah, that's cool.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's one of those like fights that help Boots get some recognition because whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like you said, you don't know what Terrence is gonna do.
Don't know what Terrence
We're gonna
gonna
see.
do.
We're gonna see what's up with Canelo. What his next move is gonna be. Is it Benavidez? Is he gonna pick somebody? I see him taking Jamie. What's his name? Malunga. Whatever his name
Good.
is. He gonna fight. He gonna fight him next. I don't know what's going. Yeah, hopefully we get Bevel and Benavieve after Benavieve fights this fight with I think Caleb Smith. I think.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, boxing's up in the air right now.
Yeah, we don't really know at all, man. At all. Like you got Deontay, you got Deontay Wilder out here looking terrible.
He might get another fighting the Zhang dude. And I'm scared for
Zhang,
Wilder
you got the
now.
Joshua now.
Knock him out.
Now you're hearing rumors about a Joshua and Ngannou fight.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Like
yeah. But we got Teofimo. He's fighting Super Bowl week.
We got Teofimo for sure.
Jermaine
I'm excited
Ortiz.
Yeah.
So
we got to figure out what David Morrell is going to do. We don't know what David Morrell is going to do. We don't know what Jared Anderson's next move is. This was kind of like my one little fear was just how high boxing was last year that we were going to get like a little bit of like a little lull. You know what I mean? We were so high, man. And I get it's going to be tough to kind of like because that was probably one of the all-time greatest summers or boxing years total as far as like the type of fights we've gotten. You know what I mean? We still don't know what's gonna happen with Inu. I said we talked about that last podcast where we really believe he needs to come to the States and start fighting to big up his name because he has the opportunity to do that. Will he do it? We don't know. We don't even know who his next fighter would be that would get us excited at this point because he's literally dominated that whole division. I'm assuming he needs to move up. I think he eventually will, but he needs to have more American. Needs to be on more American soil to kind of build up his name a little bit more for sure. It's just a weird time, man. It's just a really weird time in boxing right now. That it's a lot of unknown answers that we have right now. So. We'll see, man. Hopefully, as I said, I'm not expecting it to be the year it was last year. Hopefully, it stays on that trend where we get the fights that we see that could be potentially good fights. Maybe get some upsets along the way and stuff like that. Hell, we don't even know what's going to happen in the women's side. Like who's Carissa Shields, Alicia Baumgardner. What's the Ireland lady's name? What's her name?
Was it Sarah Marshall?
Nah, not her. I forgot her name. She's a big time female boxer in Ireland. I forgot her name. I apologize about her.
Amanda Serrano, her.
Yeah.
So
So it's a lot, and I get it. We're still only in January, so obviously those answers will get solved. So, but I'm just curious. Right now.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, man. Let's switch gears, man. Me and you always talk about NFL, NBA product. Which one is better?
Yeah.
So you came up with this thing to where I got to represent the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You represent the NBA.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go first, brother. The floor is yours.
So I want to start this, have this debate, man, in the sense of like, we both know where the leagues are right now. We know NFL is the most popular sport in America, but the NBA is the more globally branded sport with popularity. You see people talk, showing the Twitters where Lakers have over like 50 million, where the best NFL team, Cowboys, the most popular team, doesn't even have 10. So I just wanted to have this little debate with you. So I'm gonna ask you the question: what makes you think the NFL has a better product than the NBA currently right now?
Look, I'm gonna say before I get into my pros, I'll give you the cons. I get it. That product isn't always the best on TV because you got teams like the Panthers and bad teams. There's a lot of bad teams. There's a lot of mediocre to bad teams in the NFL. I know. Yeah. And this year was not the greatest year because it was a lot of young quarterbacks, a lot of injuries at the quarterback position. So it was a lot of backups this year. So the product was depreciated. I get it. But when it's at its best, you know what I'm saying? Look, every game, I know they tell you they don't, but reality is every game counts. You know what I'm saying? A game week 2 can mess you up. You know what I'm saying? You lost to a team in your division, that could be the difference between you winning the division. You know what I'm saying? And helping you in the playoffs. And then, it's always a spectacle. I feel like the moments are bigger in football. Like basketball is a constant up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's always going to be moments. Whereas in the impact and the moments, a big catch, you know what I'm saying? A receiver has his arms pinned to his arm and he catches a one-hand catch in the end zone. Everybody's going crazy for that. Or defensive end comes off the edge and sacks a quarterback to win the game, or something like that. Somebody breaks off a big run, you know what I'm saying, from the 2 to the, all the way to the touchdown. Like the moments are bigger. And then in the playoffs, it's a one-game elimination, just like March Madness is. Everybody loves March Madness. They like one-game eliminations. That's what the playoffs are. You got the wild card week. Somebody could get upset. You know what I'm saying? The team that's 15-2 can go against a team that's 10-7 and lose in a one-game setting because it's any given Saturday, Sunday, or now Monday. So games mean more. I mean, in the NBA, it's it's 7 games, 5 games, 7-game series. The team can come back the next game and come back down 3-1 or whatever, and whatever. Whereas in football, this is it. You know what I'm saying? We lose today, we going home. We going to Cancun. We making the vacation plans with the family. So
yeah.
And then you get the Super Bowl, which I believe is the biggest American spectacle in sports. You got everybody makes a big deal about the halftime show. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even just the game. It's the game within the game. The halftime show. Who's performing at the halftime show? Oh, Usher? Oh, man. Your girl who don't watch football. She don't even watch football. She can care less who wins this game. But I'm watching Usher at the halftime show. So that's why I just feel like it draws attention because the moments are bigger. I'm not saying that, it's not always, it can be boring at times. You watching the game, teams can't move the ball down the field. There's a lot of 3 and outs, a lot of punting. I get it. But when the moments are big, it's like, how did he do that? How did that quarterback dodge 3 guys and throw their football down the field like that? Like the moments are bigger. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my argument.
I'll even give you the commercials for the Super Bowl. A lot of people just watch for the commercials. You know what I mean? It is an event. I give you that. Super Bowl is a very big event. Some people have considered it should be a national holiday. The next day, everybody should have off. It's been in discussion. I give you that. Now, obviously, I did not bring up this debate to shit on one product or the other to make it seem like one product is better than I love both sports. I'm a huge fan of both sports.
Not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
You also ain't got to worry about load management. That's all I was going to say. I just want to put that out there. You ain't got to worry about load management.
All right,
other than if you got to rest your players for the playoffs. But
right, now,
you know what I'm saying? You got like
let me get into it. With the NFL, I'll say this. You're right. There are very dull moments into it. I think a team can change based off of one player. If one player gets hurt, Chiefs ain't the same. One player gets hurt, Chargers they ain't a watch no more. You know what I mean? So it's very easy for the NFL to turn very boring and stale. It's a very start and stop combination. I think going to the games can be a little bit boring as well. I think football is a better TV product than an in-person product. With basketball, I think it's totally different. I think you're very immersed in that environment. It's a very fast-paced environment. I think we have more stars in the NBA. I know we have more younger stars in the NBA, more freak athletes in the NBA. I know you talk about moments, but ain't nothing like a game 7, brother. I get in the playoffs that it is a single elimination. I get that. It's more exciting in a sense, but there are some promising benefits with a 7-game series. You kind of see the buildup of the series. You see the elevation of the intensified storylines between both teams. The little, if you really want to get minute into the series, the little plays they design, because it gets to the point by the 4th game, you pretty much know everybody, you know what I mean? So now you're just playing based on will. So when it comes to a game 7, man, it's very intense, and it just every basket matters. So if the thing is with the NBA, if you can get to a game 7, it's like the Super Bowl, maybe even better, because every shot matters, every turnover matters, every free throw, everything matters. So in that sense, I would give you a little bit nod with the playoffs, just based on the one single game elimination. But if it's the right series, it could be one of the best series that you would see. You get 7 games of that. Imagine if you got 7 games of the Niners Chiefs. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if you got 7 weeks of that shit. I'm just saying, it'll be that. How do you know though? How do you know though?
They're gonna beat the hell up.
I'm just saying, like, if you did, like, obviously it will never happen. But if you did like a best of 3, you know what I mean? Like if you did 3 weeks, best of 3 type of shit. But overall, the talent that we have, we have the Victor Wembanyama's, the Giannis's, from the old to the young, Steph, LeBron, Cade Cunningham's, Zion Williamson's, Brandon Ingram's. We have a slew of talent in the NBA. It's a very exciting product. Now, both sides, referees are trash. Both sides, the referees are trash. On the NFL side, they're literally taking away the defense to being able to play defense. They're literally slowly taking away hitting. So we're getting to that point where it's just like it's a little bit more annoying in the sense of the NFL, where they're really trying to get away from the product that has really established them to be one of the most exciting products on American soil. At least with the NBA, they try to evolve a little bit more. You know what I mean? I get, people weren't excited with the, flopping and all that stuff, but they tried to take it away. They added the in-season tournament, which, people were questioning about. It became one of the most exciting events we had this past year. So I think the NBA is way more innovative than the NFL. I think they're more advanced as far as like the thinking about it. They're not stuck in the old days in a sense. And then they don't really try to take away, how the NFL is taken away from the defense to be able to play defense. You know what I mean? In the sense of the physicality of it. I'm not saying the NBA is as physical as it was back in the day in the Jordan eras. Obviously, that is not the case as well. So overall, man, I think this is 2 beautiful sports. That's the main reason why I wanted to have this debate, just because I know people are sometimes a little stuck in between, like NFL is the greatest. And I just think these 2 are in 2 pinnacle points right now, that I think they both need a little bit of help as far as like, elevating and maybe fixing a couple things. I do think so. I think the NFL has tried to become more global, like the NBA in a sense, i.e., they're trying to do the London games, Germany games, and stuff like that. Even rumored about having a team move to London, which I think would be kind of crazy to me. But overall, man, it just shows, man, how great these 2 sports are. You know what I mean? So I really want you to enjoy the NBA again, brother. Come enjoy the NBA.
I'll try.
There's a lot of great things about the NBA. You know what I mean? I get it. It's not the Dennis Rodman era that you've enjoyed.
Okay, why you gotta say Dennis Rodman? Like, damn, man.
That's what you keep telling me. It ain't that. But I'm just like, bro, it's a lot of great talent out there, and a lot of great. These games are amazing.
I was watching when the Heatles was around. I was watching when LeBron went back to Cleveland.
I'm not saying you was back in the day watching, like Will Chamberlain or some shit. Like Dennis Rodman was in the 90s, brother. You were alive in the 90s, weren't you? How old were you in the 90s?
I was in my teens at the 90s.
All right, man. So come on,
but
brother.
Still, like, you basically like that's the last Dennis Rodman.
It seems like it's the last time you watched the goddamn NBA. No. You know what I mean?
No.
I'm very
2000s.
No, I get it. I'm very passionate about both sports. That's all I'm saying. So I just want you to come a little bit more onto the NBA side, brother. You know what I mean?
I'll try, man.
You got the passion for the NFL. I know you can gain it back for the NBA. I know you can, brother. I know you can.
It's just so many games, and it's just
come on, dog.
No, but I do. I catch a glimpse. I ain't gonna sit here and catch it. I don't catch a glimpse of games, highlights and stuff like that. I know there's talent in the NBA. I'm
Every
not sitting
team
there
has
saying that.
talent. Every team, from the
Yeah,
worst team to the best team, bro. There's talent
and
on
I'm not
across.
saying that NBA is a bad product at all. Like obviously, it's a good product. People are watching it. Millions and billions are watching the NBA product, and I agree with you. It's a better product watching it and live. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like it's both. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
for
I
sure.
get it. I've been to Chiefs games and watched it, and it was good, but it just wasn't. You don't have the emotion. Like people don't feel like they commentary doesn't mean anything. It really does.
It
It does
really
take a
does.
lot.
It makes a lot of it, though. You know what I mean?
As much as we can't stand some of these commentators on there, the Chris Collinsworth and all these guys that be, on there talking and some of them sound biased as hell, but still, it do make a difference when you sit in that crowd. It's kind of like,
Yeah,
that's
because then
cool,
there's
but
when they're in the huddle, you gotta wait for the TV timeout. It's just like you just came off a high off a touchdown. Now it's like, all right, now you gotta sit here and be quiet for 5 minutes while they go through the commercials and all that type of stuff. And it's
yeah. So
that's it. Yeah, not for real.
when you're at home, you know what I'm saying? When it's on commercial break, you go grab you another beer or whatever you
Mhm.
drink, you know what I'm saying? You re-up on the snacks, you know what I'm
Right,
saying, at the
yeah, for
house.
sure.
It's at the game. All right, man, I'm gonna go give me another drink real quick. Now you go and stand in that long ass line and you know what I'm saying,
Like,
get some food.
let me ask you, like, you've been to some games, like, I don't know if you ever thought about it, but what do you think would help the NFL as far as like make it a better experience, like going to the games? What do you think could help that?
Uh Man, that's tough.
Hmm.
That's tough because the game is the game, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
it's hard to present it in a way to where the crowd can just like I mean, obviously people watch the game, you know what I'm saying? You see people in the crowd and some fan bases are more, into the game than others, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like if you watch certain games, you can see the crowds just kind of like, you
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
But if you
yeah.
watch a Buffalo Bills, a Chiefs game, or whatever, you see the crowd yelling, the guys is into it, the crowd is loud, you know what I'm saying? Like some fan bases just make the product look better than, other fan bases, you know what I'm saying? You watch
Hmm.
a LA game, Chargers or whatever, it's just kind of like whatever. You know what I'm saying? The crowd don't even most of the times it's other people's team and fan base and anyway. So still.
Yeah,
Um Whereas in NBA, it's more I would say that the crowd is more of the spectacle in the NBA because of the heckling, because of the yelling, you're right
you're
there.
closer to the court. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're closer to the court.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Like the closer you are, you're right there. You can talk
Hmm.
to LeBron James and say, "Hey, man, you suck."
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
facts.
saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Or you
Hmm.
could see Giannis and be like, "Yo, Giannis, baby, yeah, you shot that
Yeah,
three, baby." You've seen the players dap up, high five fans and stuff like that. Like it's a more interactive game.
yeah,
Whereas in football, even if you're close, the bench is like way over here.
yeah,
You know what I'm
facts.
saying? I
Yeah,
can't
facts.
say, hey, Pat, what's up, man? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like until after
Hmm.
the game, you know what I'm saying? When they
Yeah,
walk, down the hall, then I can say what I got to say. Or even
yeah.
pregame, I can talk to the players, whatever. They'll come over, sign your autographs, and take
Hmm.
pictures with you. It's just it's way more. It's there. You're right there when it's basketball. You know what I'm saying? And in football, that it's always been said, you can't see they're in helmets. So
Yeah,
half of the
yeah,
time, casual fans don't even know what these dudes look like. They walk right
yeah,
past them. And if they were outside, it takes a football fan to be like, "Oh man, that's Justin Jefferson." Oh, I
hmm,
didn't even know what he looked like. You
hmm,
know what I'm saying? Like, because
hmm.
they're always in helmets. They're not out the helmets. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know who certain players are because of commercials, and they always blast them on whatever show or whatever. But still, it's just the product in the NBA is better for the fan base because it's more interactive. You could be right there with the action of the game. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I would never shit on NBA, even though I don't watch it as much as I used to back in the day. I still know it's a good product. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I think there's one thing I wish the NFL would do. That they would make the Super Bowl more fan friendly. Give the real
yeah,
fans a real opportunity to go to the game because I
mhm.
think that would be a real. Imagine if you saw it. Like I'm gonna use your team. Imagine if you had the Chiefs Niners last year, but you had one side Chiefs, one side Niners, like college football style. You know what I mean? I think they need to. I get it because to me the Super Bowl is just so corporation-y. I know it's not a word, but you know what I mean. It's like the way they treat it is like kind of like an invite only event. You know what I mean? Yeah. When this whole sport is meant for the fans, you know what I mean. Your biggest game, you don't even allow the fans to have an opportunity to go to the game because you looking at ticket prices for the Vegas. And I get it. Vegas is going to be more expensive than any other city just based on what it is. You know what I mean? The Raiders have the most expensive tickets year round, no matter if they're good, great, or bad. It's going to be the same way with the baseball team. It's going to be the same way with the basketball team whenever they come. But if you can just find a happy balance where you can have where fans can have an opportunity. I'm not saying the ticket's got to be $300. Like I get it's the Super Bowl. It's gonna be like $1,000, maybe a little bit more, but $8,000, $10,000 is ridiculous. You know what I mean? I think they need to find a way for fans to be able to go to this game. Like it just does not need to be where it's like all of Coca-Cola Corporation VPs going to the game. And I get everybody's a fan, but I'd rather see some shit where it's nothing but the two teams fans, not everybody across the board. Like, you know what I mean? Like if it's the Eagles and Steelers, let it be Eagles and Steelers fans all in that game. Like show the excitement because you can kind of tell even with the Super Bowl, it's like it's not as loud as like, you know, the Chiefs game or at the Bills or at the Cowboys or at the Raiders and stuff like that. Imagine if you got that environment, like what you're going to see at the college football game here tonight. You know what I mean? Like you're going to get that environment. You get that environment where it's Washington College, people that went to Washington, students that went to Washington. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the NFL needs to get to that point. Like I get they're trying to make money off the game, but this is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. You can make the game more affordable. Like this doesn't need to be $10,000 for me to sit on the nosebleeds next to the big ass screen, and I'm all the way at the top talking to the pigeons and shit. Like, no, don't need to be that.
No, I agree. I still to this day don't understand why they make the Super Bowl so secret society.
Yeah.
You know, it's a rich people's game, so you got to come. So they're the only ones that come to it. It's like the rich people ain't the ones that pay for these tickets. Like, yeah, you got the season ticket holders, but the ones that pay for the tickets are the ones that the dad, they got his son that he's trying to get to take to the game. So why won't you make it affordable for that son to take that dad to take his son to the Super Bowl? You know what I'm saying? And it's in, you know, especially ones that are in city, you know, whatever city they're in, you know. But like you said, even make it more affordable for the teams that their fan bases, so they can flood the whole stadium up. And you got one side Chief fans, you got one side, you know, Eagle fans. You know what I'm saying? Going back to last year. That would have made it more of a whoa, like it'd have been really loud. You know what I'm saying? You got Eagle fans on one side, like you said, and Chiefs fans on the other side. They screaming at each other. You know what I'm saying? Like the intensity would be revved up. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. It's just I just feel like they do need to make it more affordable for the Super Bowl, and make it more fan friendly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Does. Yeah. You know, it's easier to go to a game 5 or 4 or 6 or 7.
It is to NBA Finals game. Like NBA Finals games are going to be expensive depending on where you're going, but they're still like $800, $700. And I get it. That could be expensive to a lot of people, but you can save up all year or whatever. You know what I mean? Like at least you have the opportunity. 700 sounds way better than 8,000, and 700 can get you lower bowl. You know what I mean? So I said, man, I wish they can figure that out, man. I really wish they could. They make too much money not for that not to be the same case. You know what I mean? Because it could be the likes of like let's say this, like the Cowboys fans. And I get it, you know, Cowboys fans maybe probably, if we had this conversation, you know, they might be maybe the little bit more richer fans, I guess you could say that, you know what I mean, fan base wise. But just imagine if it was like, you know, Cowboys versus the Bills. You know what I mean? Those two franchises have not been to the Super Bowl in so long, and then they get to have the one Super Bowl where it's just nothing but Cowboys fans on one side, Bills fans on there going fucking crazy, man. I wouldn't mind watching that. You know what I mean? Even though I hate the Cowboys, but I said, man, you be watching the game, and it's just like, bro, you can hear just the quietness sometimes in this game, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree. All right, man. Let's go ahead and preview the playoffs, man. NFL playoffs is coming up this weekend. We ain't gonna give no picks, nothing, but just want to kind of give an overall oversight of the playoffs. Pull up the screen real quick. Hold on. Bam. Let's do it. All right, man. Let's check it out. We got Buffalo and San Francisco. Baltimore and San Francisco. They got their bye week. So we're getting Cleveland and Houston. They're the 4th and the 5th seed. You got Miami coming to Kansas City. You got Pittsburgh going to Buffalo. And then on the NFC side, you got Eagles going to Tampa Bay. You got the Rams going to Detroit. You got Green Bay going to Dallas. Now, as these games break down, hold on, let me pull up the schedule. So the first game is going to be the Browns and the Texans at 1:30. Then the night game at 5, or the evening game would be Dolphins at Chiefs on Peacock. Then you got Sunday morning. You got Steelers and Bills. Then the 1:30 game is Packers and Cowboys. Then you got the night game, of course, Rams, Lions, and then Monday night game we got Eagles, Buccaneers. So, what are your thoughts on how the overall? Like I said, we're not giving no picks, but your overall stance of the playoff picture.
Well, first, conspiracy theory. I think they gave the Eagles the Monday night game to give them as much time as possible for them to heal up. I really believe that, because I really thought it was going to be Dallas Monday night, because I just think Dallas, no matter how much we hate that franchise, they are the most popular franchise
and Dallas and Green Bay is an interesting game.
It's an interesting game too. Yeah. So that'd be the Monday, finish the week off with that. I think that would have been interesting. The most exciting matchup for me is definitely Matthew Stafford going back to Detroit. I think that game is going to be a high-scoring game. Laporta being out is huge. I don't know why he played his starters. There was going to be no way for him to get the number 2 seed. I think they were going to be stuck at 3. Now you got a couple of your players hurt. Your big star tight end is gone. And then from reports saying, I don't think it's a tear, but he will be out. He definitely ain't playing next week. So that kind of sucked. I think the Houston Browns game is going to be very interesting. Houston being at home, I think that makes them scary. I think that makes them very scary. I know a lot of people have high hopes for the Browns, especially the way Joe Flacco's been playing. But don't sleep on CJ, man. They are very comfortable playing in Houston. I think that's going to be a really good game right out the gate. I have to say this. I mean this very respectfully. The NFL and NBC need to go to jail for them putting this game on Peacock. Whose bright idea was it for them to put a playoff game behind a fucking paywall? It's so stupid. It is so stupid. I really hope and pray no one buys Peacock. Boycott that shit. Go to your local bar. If you got a casino, go to your casino. If you want to do, if you know, then do that too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say, but if you know, do that. I don't want no one paying for Peacock subscriptions. This is ridiculous. I feel like fans need to put their foot down on this bullshit, because we are getting a high marquee game. We're getting Tyreek Hill. The game we've always wanted. The one we wanted earlier year, back in KC. And then you put, out of all the games, that one on Peacock? Why didn't you put the Steelers Bills on Peacock? Why this game? Why the Chiefs? You know why? Another conspiracy theory. Because they want all the Swifties to pay for goddamn Peacock so they can watch her girl be in the stands and all that shit. So I get why they did that, but the NFL needs to be ashamed of themselves, bro. I get it if you want to do it during the regular season. I get that, because you could throw a bullshit game where it's like fucking like the Giants versus the Jets type of bullshit. I get that. Do that. No one's gonna care. But a playoff game, that's ridiculous, bro. I hope this is a 1-year thing. This is fucking bullshit.
That's stupid.
Let's get off that. And that will definitely make something else at the end of the show. The Pittsburgh Buffalo game. I hate to say this, bro, but the Steelers are playing better than the Bills at this fucking point. I'm very curious to see how this shit goes, and I really don't want to hear Showtime. And I hope he does not listen. So, I think the Green Bay Dallas game is going to be very, very interesting. Do not short out. I'm very curious to see how that Jair Alexander CeeDee Lamb matchup goes. If Jair Alexander gets the best out of that matchup, do not be surprised. Do not be surprised.
And do not look over. Stephon Gilmore got hurt. He might not be
look
playing
over that
this
too.
game.
And then there's
secondary is going to be depleted,
and it's gonna put a lot of pressure on Dak Prescott. Like Dak Prescott, you want that bread? There's rumors of you want a new contract. Get that bread. You know what I mean? Mike McCarthy. Do you trust Mike McCarthy? There's a lot of answers to that. You know what I mean? They have been playing really, really good at home. They're undefeated. Now, anytime people bring up undefeated or you haven't missed a free throw at the right time, you know what happens, people. What happens.
The curse could be.
And then finally, the Eagles-Bucks game. I don't know what to say about that besides the whole, I think it's a conspiracy theory that they put in on Monday, but the Bucks aren't playing good either, man. I don't know what to expect from this game. I don't know.
Take the under.
I don't know who I'm gonna pick on Wednesday. We got to see how AJ Brown's gonna be healthy. We got to see how Jalen. I assume Jalen Hurts will play, but that finger, how bad is that finger hurting? How much is the swelling and all that type of stuff? Can he grip the ball? Yeah, man. So it should be an overall fun weekend for sure. I'm excited though. At the end of the day, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. The Cleveland and Houston game is very interesting, especially Houston at home. I've always said Houston is a better home game and a home team. And they're playing in the dome. They ain't got to go to Cleveland in that cold weather and nothing like that. They get to play, nice dome. So they definitely have a chance, even though Cleveland is riding high right now. Joe Flacco's playing out of his mind. Amari Cooper, that defense. If Myles Garrett, you know what I'm saying, that's going to be a challenge for CJ Stroud going against a monster like that defensive line. But Myles Garrett is a man to men, you know what I'm saying? So that's definitely going to be a challenge, the offensive line versus that defensive line. So the defense, period. But that defensive line that's going to be the difference in that game. Miami versus my Chiefs, Tyreek Hill coming back to Kansas City, of course, is exciting. I agree with you. Everything you said about Peacock, fuck Peacock. Unless y'all want to sponsor us, though. But
I want to take that fuck Peacock back. I was trying to be nice about it.
No, but seriously though, the whole paywall thing, like, come on, man. Y'all putting Patrick Mahomes on a Peacock exclusive thing. You could have put somebody else on there.
Just any playoff game is crazy.
Yeah, y'all could have did something with that. But it's definitely an exciting match. We'll see how healthy Miami is coming into Arrowhead. Guys are limping in. Even I know you said Waddle's feeling better. He's still probably not going to be at 100%. Mostert's probably not going to be at 100% either, but it's still going to be an interesting game. We played, they played earlier this year in Germany, and it was an interesting game. They came back and almost tied it up on us, but defense ended up showing up. But it's definitely going to be an interesting game, especially in that cold-ass weather. I feel for every Chief fan out there that goes out there. You are some brave individuals. And then you got Pittsburgh at Buffalo. I'm with you, bro. You know what? I would be more with you if TJ Watt is playing. I did space out on that too. I did. Yeah. If TJ Watt is playing, I don't know if he is. I don't think he is.
I think it's doubtful.
I think it looked kind of bad. So I think Buffalo has a chance. I think Josh Allen just dodged the bullet.
He did.
But still, this is Josh Allen we talking about, and he can find a way to turn the ball over, as you can see, and he can lose it on his own merit himself.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
You know what I'm saying? But I'll tell you this: if they let Mason Rudolph come into Buffalo,
Sean McDermott should be fired.
He should be fired. And I don't want to
Mhm.
hear nothing else about them damn Buffalo Bills. I don't hear nothing.
I don't think that will
You
happen, but
let Mason Rudolph come to Orchard Park and beat you? Nah. You gotta have some type of pride.
nah, yeah, I feel you.
Now, as far as the Eagles and Tampa Bay, yeah, that is the most that game right there is the most head scratching game out of all the games this weekend coming up. Like, I don't know who's gonna win that game. I don't know. We're gonna get good Baker or we're gonna get bad Baker. Like, and Tampa Bay hasn't looked good these past few weeks. Like, like, oh no, like they struggled against the Panthers, but hell, the Eagles just struggled against the Giants. Like,
the Bucks defense is playing better too. Bucks defense look good too.
They are. That's what I'm saying. I just think it's gonna be a low scoring game.
It is,
and I don't know. If they can get some guys healthy. If AJ Brown is healthy, maybe I don't know. As far as the Rams in Detroit, Stafford going back to Detroit, we all called it. You know what I'm saying? We saw it coming a mile away, and it's a very interesting game. That game is a toss-up to me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be a very high-score game. I think it is going to be the most action-packed game of the weekend.
Very emotional game.
It's definitely going to be in the 30s. And these dudes are going to be scoring up and down the field. So definitely going to be a great game. And then Green Bay and Dallas. Hey, Dallas fans, y'all on upset alert. Especially with Stephon Gilmore out. Let me tell you something. Say what you want about Green Bay. Green Bay got a slew of receivers over there. They got a wheelhouse.
If they get Christian Watson back too,
Christian Watkins, Romeo Dobbs, what's his name? Jalen Reed, the Wicks kid, like
Aaron Jones in the backfield. If they get Dylan back, you got him. Jordan Love, he can run with him. He can run too. They're clicking right now, man. They've been looking good the last couple weeks, man. They're clicking.
Jordan
right now.
Love is looking like he's starting to it's clicking. Like,
offensive line looking a little solid too. Yep.
Shout out to Matt LaFleur. You know what I'm saying? Like he did a great coaching job this year. It was looking shaky in the beginning, but he stuck with it, and they played their best football down the stretch. There was some games where they dropped the ball, but they played most of the part. They played their best football down the stretch. So Dallas, y'all on upset alert, man. I don't care how many games y'all won at home. Green Bay can come in here and beat y'all.
yeah, for sure.
So y'all better not take Green Bay lightly at all. And I agree with you. This should have been the Monday night game. Green Bay, Dallas, the history between those teams, like, come on, man. You got McCarthy, former coach, Green Bay.
It's the second year in a row they put Tampa Bay on Monday night. Like, bro, I get it why they did it last year because of Tom Brady. I get it. It's Tom Brady against the Cowboys, but I'd rather have Packers, Dallas to end the week, me personally.
We all knew that Tampa Bay was not going to win that game.
No, we all knew that. Didn't we go watch that game somewhere?
Yeah. we went to Born and Raised to watch that game. And it was terrible.
We did.
I think I won some money that night. I did win some money that night.
Okay, so it wasn't all that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad. But all in totality, I'm excited for the weekend, man. You know,
I am. I'm very excited. Very excited.
Excited for this weekend. And then, we get into the divisional round of some of these games. It's going to be, dope. Whoever wins, you know what I'm saying? So
on the road to Vegas, man, you know what I mean? On the road to where we at, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be exciting.
Anybody watching this and they can get us some credentials.
Facts.
Get in the Super Bowl.
Facts.
Holla at us.
Holla at us, man. We were itching for that.
Email us. It's on our Twitter.
We'll do anything. We'll interview the cheerleaders if we got to. I don't care. Just kidding. Yeah, let's do some events, man.
Yeah, for real. Hit us up, man. Hit us up. All right, man. Off of that. That was a good. That's gonna be some good stuff. But let's talk about Kobe. Not top 2.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna let you set this up, man.
So pretty much, this came about with Stephen A. Smith. You know how Stephen A. Smith does on his podcast show. He went on a rant, pretty much saying that Kobe is not top two. He's not near Jordan or LeBron, which then got some other players like on the Gilbert Arenas podcast to go off on him. Shaq went on his show and pretty much told him why Kobe should be a part of the conversation. Not saying he's better than them, but he should be part of the conversation. So that's where this topic came from.
I heard Rashad McCann, and that to me it kind of sounds personal with Stephen A. Smith. Like I think he kind of had a personal vendetta against Stephen A. Smith. Maybe he don't like him, whatever, and that's his business. I don't know. Like I said, Stephen A. said he told Kobe to his face, we can't confirm or say he's lying or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He said he had a personal relationship with Kobe, and they talk like that. I'm gonna take it at face value. You know what I'm saying? Until somebody denies it. My problem with Rashad McCann is that everybody's entitled to their opinion, regardless if you agree with it or not. If Stephen A. don't think that Kobe is top two, he don't think he's top two. That's his opinion. If you think Kobe is if you think Kobe's after Jordan or before Jordan or whatever, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be mad at that because that's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I just think he was attacking Stephen A. Smith for having an opinion. He thinks Jordan, LeBron are top two. And then, after that, I forgot who he said he had after that. But I don't think that Stephen A. Smith was dismissing Kobe. He knows what Kobe means to the game. You know what I'm saying? He knows Kobe is one of the top 5 players ever to grace the basketball court. So I believe that he, knows that. But the one thing I just say about Rashad McCann is just like everybody, you know what I'm saying? It's okay to have an opinion as long as you keep it basketball. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to keep it, on the court. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Stephen A. kept it on the court. He wasn't talking about his mama, daddy, or nothing like that. He kept it on the court, and that was his opinion about Kobe. You know what I'm saying? So that was my thing on the whole situation,
I agree with you. I think everybody has their own opinion, but at the same time, I think it is disrespectful to Kobe and his legacy.
Yeah.
For what he has impacted on this league and what type of player he was. Before LeBron showed up, it was Michael Jordan versus Kobe. That was the debate. So how all of a sudden it went from that to now Kobe's just not even in the conversation. It's crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like Kobe has 5 rings. I get people are going to bring up, well, he had Shaq. Well, Shaq wasn't doing anything until he had Kobe. Let's call it spade. Right. He wasn't doing anything. Yeah, he had Penny Hardaway, but he got swept by the Rockets twice. You know what I mean? Until he had Kobe, that's when he was starting to win the championships. Until he had Dwayne Wade, that's when he started winning championships. Shaq was a liability in the fourth quarter. Hence why Hack a Shaq was formed. You know what I mean? Without Kobe, you're not winning those championships. And that's not me disrespecting Shaq. That's just who he was as a player. Like his free throw shooting was one of the worst in the league of all time. If we want to get to players, LeBron James, he's played with the likes of Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, which he is really the key to why LeBron James was able to get over the hump and have the mentality to win the championship, because he learned under that. He learned under Pat Riley. He learned under Eric Spoelstra, even though Eric Spoelstra was kind of like a rookie coach back in the day. And that's not me taking a shot at LeBron. That's just reality. I just think that people have, especially since Kobe has passed, it seems like he's been slowly taken out of this conversation of who is the greatest of all time. I get LeBron James is going to have the better stats just because he's had the longer career, the more healthy career. I believe that if Kobe Bryant never tore his Achilles, he would have broke the scoring record. Who knows how long he was playing, because he was still averaging about 26 to 27 points per game. So, obviously the injury did affect that. But I just think it doesn't hurt to have Kobe in the conversation. It's okay to have Kobe in the conversation with the same likes as LeBron, MJ, Magic, and Kareem. I don't see how you don't have the conversation. I really don't. Even Tim Duncan. People don't even put Tim Duncan in the conversation. And Tim Duncan is a hell of a player. You know what I mean? So there are a certain slew of people that should be considered the greatest basketball player of all time. And now, however you place it, it's all to each his own. That's when the to each his own comes into that, because everybody's gonna have their personal opinions. Everybody has their personal favorites. It just is what it is. But we got to stop leaving Kobe off like he was just some bum that rode the coattails off of Shaq. You know what I mean? Some of the players that he had in that second stint, these weren't all Hall of Fame type players. He was playing with the likes of Bynum. You know, he was playing with the likes of Metta World Peace, Lamar Odom, Derek Fisher. You know what I mean? So he's elevated teams going up against the likes of Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Rajon Rondo, Doc Rivers, Ray Allen. He did that. He beat them. So that's all I'm saying. Just have the respect to put him in the conversation. Now, where you want to put him, that's on you. And there's no respect. There's no disrespect behind that. But just have them in the conversation. Have the right players in the conversation, and people just keep sticking with Michael Jordan and LeBron James. There's a whole slew of other players that deserve to be in the conversation that always get forgotten. And that does disservice to the history of the game. It really does. It really does. Just like in the likes of Tom Brady in NFL. We talk about Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. We've all solidified that. But at the same time, Joe Montana needs to be considered in there. John Elway needs to be considered in there. Jerry Rice needs to be considered one of the greatest football players of all time. Lawrence Taylor deserves that. Reggie White deserves that. Barry Sanders deserves that. I can go on and on. You know what I mean? Randy Moss, like Terrell Owens. Like, don't sleep on T.O. Don't sleep on these guys. And I get it. They're not your fan favorites. They're not.
No.
But it doesn't do the service for the history of the game and what these gentlemen have done for their specific sports. That's all I'm saying with this. There are some names that deserve to be in the conversation. Let's stick to it. Now, where you rate them is where you rate
them. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? There are some guys that should be in the conversation. Do I have Jordan and LeBron top 2? Yeah, I do. But I also have Kobe number 3. I have Kobe after LeBron because the conversation was Kobe and Jordan. So I have Kobe number 3. I actually have Tim Duncan number 4, and then I have Shaq number 5. So that would be my top 5 list of all time.
And let me say this: anybody that always brings up the thing of Kobe represents Michael Jordan, so he can never be that. He can never be up on that. That's fucking stupid. That's corny as shit. You're literally doing his whole career disservice just because the way his game replicated Michael Jordan. You didn't do that. Huh? Go ahead.
And that is actually a compliment because
it's a compliment. And some of the ways
you representing the greatest.
you replicated, and he acknowledged it. You know how tough it is for Michael Jordan to acknowledge that. You know how tough it is. You know what I mean? And then he did some things better than Mike did. But no one says that about LeBron James with Magic Johnson. No one says that with Jason Tatum with Kobe Bryant. How many people have taken their game off of Kobe? LeBron is one of them.
He is.
How many documentaries do we have to go through of the importance that Kobe Bryant has made on a lot of these players that were in the game today? From the likes of LeBron, from the likes of Dwayne Wade, to Jason Tatum, to Jaylen Brown, like Kyrie Irving. These are some of the great basketball players in the league. And Trae Young, all these guys. Come on, man. Come on. You know what I mean? Mamba mentality. People live by that. People live by that. The emotions that you saw from when he passed away. That's proof in its own right there. The magnitude that they had on everybody. Chris, I guarantee you could remember where you were that day when Kobe passed away. The impact that it had. I didn't even know the brother. And I'm emotional as shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that was the whole world. And you saw that within the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's even if you wasn't a fan of Kobe,
no,
still hit you like, damn, Kobe passed away. Like what? Yeah, like, huh? Yeah. Like, because he was still young, you know what I'm I'm saying? He has so much to offer, even off the court. He still has stuff to offer. And then you see him, with his daughter, you know what I'm saying? You see the mama mentality in her. Like right now, we could be talking about her in college, you know what I'm saying? Doing her thing, you know what I'm saying? With the likes of a Caitlin Clark and, the
Sabrina and Nescu's and all that, man. The
Juju
impact he's made
Watkins
on
and all that.
on the women's game too. He was a big proponent on the women's game too.
He was
putting the light on that.
Helped,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, he helped a lot of those girls in the WNBA too, like you said. So he was very impactful for a lot of ball players, men and women. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So
yeah.
I would definitely put Kobe over Jordan in that aspect, because Jordan, we know Jordan. He's on the high horse. He feels like he's the greatest. He feel like he ain't got to teach nothing to talk to nobody. You know what I'm saying? He has a selective few that he talks to, but and the one thing I say about Kobe is that I felt like he opened up a lot more when that USA team came about, when he was on that team with LeBron and Carmelo and all them. I felt like Kobe opened up a lot more, and he finally, like, right then he got it. Like, these young dudes really, I think he saw it for himself how much he means to the game, to these guys, because these guys are probably still in awe. You imagine LeBron James being in awe for Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? Carmelo Anthony is in awe of Kobe Bryant.
In their primes, too. In their primes. He set the culture for that team. Mm-hmm. He was the main reason they won the gold. Look at the documentary. Yeah. What else is proven? You have all these players literally tell you one by one, from AI to Dwayne Wade, from LeBron James to AD to Kyrie Irving, Kobe Bryant was fucking him. Tracy McGrady, Kobe was him. Vince Carter, he was him. Michael Jordan himself, he was him. Come on, man. And y'all gonna sit here and say Kobe don't deserve to be in the conversation? Yeah, right. Rashad McCants have every right to say what he said to Stephen A. Smith, the guy on ESPN who's in one of the most influential sports programs. No matter what you say, he has the most influential sports program on TV today. And you're going to sit here and say that you are a basketball Nostradamus. You say this on your TV, and you're going to go and just say Kobe's not top 10. Don't say Kobe's not top 10. Just say Kobe belongs in the discussion. That's all you need to say. You specifically pointed out saying Kobe is not top 10. Why do you have to go out to say that? Why? There is no purpose in you doing that. Just say Kobe deserves to be in the conversation. Now, I have LeBron, I have Michael, I have Kobe fifth, whatever the case is. But you're literally just saying Kobe does not belong to be in the conversation with the greats, the greatest of all times. That is fucking, his word, asinine. Come on, dog. Shaq told you to your face. These are all the players that you say helped Kobe along the way or are better than Kobe. Michael Jordan's literally tell you he's on the same level as me. LeBron James, he's on the same level as me, maybe even better. Shaq, he's the reason why I won the chips. He deserves to be in the conversation. These are greats saying this shit. And you can't respect the greats who played the game saying this, but you, Mr. I played in Winston-Salem, going on TV, yelling and screaming, can't say the same shit? Come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing, man? Just show the respect to the game and show respect to the player. And then he can't even speak for himself because he's not even here. And Rashad McCants is right. You didn't say that shit when Kobe was alive. I don't care what Stephen A. Smith said. I call bullshit. He didn't say that shit. I don't know that for a fact, but I believe it. Come on, man. Now you want to say this shit now?
I don't know what conversations him and Stephen A.
Come on, man. So. Kobe would have told him to shut the fuck up. You see
my he did.
You know me. You know me.
He did talk about a story about Kobe texting him like, what the fuck is you talking about? So I mean,
and he shut up. He shut the fuck up, didn't he? Respectfully. That's all I'm saying. Come on, man. Just leave Kobe out the just respect his name. And it's just not Kobe. People do this to Magic. People do this to Kareem. Yeah. You know what I mean? People do this to Bird. Like, people do this to a lot of players that deserve a lot more respect. You know what I mean? Like, we got to stop leaving them out. I get it that's the older generation and newer generation of fans come in, so they're used to the Steph Curry. I think even Steph gets disrespected on such a great level. Like, people want to shit on Steph Curry so bad every time. Like, Steph Curry doesn't belong on the same level as LeBron James. It's fucking wild to me. I get he had Kevin Durant. What has Kevin Durant done since he left fucking the Golden State Warriors?
But they was winning championships before.
They were winning championships before that. Yeah, he established a whole fucking team. He got them to the NBA Finals. Like, what are we doing?
I've always looked at that as Kevin Durant joining them to get a championship. I've never looked at it as.
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you, but that's like.
No, I know what you mean. I'm just saying I'd never looked at that situation as Kevin Durant. Oh, I'm coming to help y'all to beat LeBron James. No, I think they could have beat LeBron in that team without Kevin.
Do you think Draymond Green is Draymond Green without Steph? Do you think Klay Thompson is Klay Thompson without Steph Curry? No, they're not. Kevin Durant has no chips without Steph. Do you think Steve Kerr is considered one of the greatest coaches of all time without Steph Curry? No. Mark Jackson would have been that if he was still around. Come on, man. Mark Jackson's the one that kind of started. He's the one that started that team. Yeah, and then he got alienated out the league. I don't know why. I know there's stories out there. Yeah. But come on, man.
We can talk about that at a later day.
No, I get it. But come on, man. This is what I'm saying. People want to sit here and they want to talk to me about basketball and saying this, and I'm hearing all. I'm like, bro, you sound fucking insane. I get you like the player that you like, but you don't need to sit here and disrespect like Steph Curry ain't shit, or Kobe ain't shit, or Magic Johnson ain't shit, or Larry Bird, or Allen Iverson, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady. Come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? Come on, man. Come on, man. Just show more respect. That's all I'm saying. You don't need to keep going.
Yeah, I agree. All right, man. Let's do a playoff team meter.
Let's do it. We do 1 through 10.
No, I do 1 through 5.
1 through 5. Okay. 5 being confident. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the teams off. We give our numbers. All right.
For sure.
So the first one, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Go ahead.
I'm at a 1.
You're at a 1?
I don't believe in them. I think, could they possibly pull up the upset if it is up there? But can they pull out the upset this weekend and beat the Eagles? Of course they can. You know what I'm saying? That defense is still pretty good. But it's just, I don't know what Baker Mayfield I'm gonna get, and I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders at all. So I would say they're one. They're a 1 for me.
Yeah, the coaching is kind of up in the air for me. I'm not really confident in that. Baker Mayfield, he has played a little bit better, but they have slowed down a little bit. He is injured. I'm gonna go with a 2, just based on the matchup itself as well. So I'm gonna give it a 2. My confidence is like a 2 right now.
Okay. Next up, shows Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm at a 1. I don't believe in Mason Rudolph. Their running game has gotten a little better, but their defense is always going to give them a little bit of a chance. But no TJ Watt. Yeah, and Tomlin, what Tomlin represents. I know we talked about Tomlin and his culture, but he's still a good coach. I still think he's a good coach.
Yeah, he's still talking about the culture, but he's still a great coach.
Yeah, but it's still for something to say for a team to still be above 500 and make playoffs every year, damn near.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So, if they had a better quarterback, then it would be higher. But I'm not believing in Mason Rudolph to make a run, so I'm going 1.
I'm gonna do this for respect to Tomlin. I'm gonna give it a 1.5. He gets a half a point for me. Just respect off of what Tomlin's doing. Yeah, I know we had the conversation where I brought it up where his culture I don't think is the best at all times. You know what I mean? Just with some of the characters that he's kind of created in a sense. But overall, he has the Steelers playing pretty well going into the playoffs right now. I'm not a Mason Rudolph fan, but he has played respectable. So I'm gonna get a little 1.5. They're not Super Bowl contenders, and especially with the TJ Watt injury, it kind of affects it as well. So I'll give it a 1.5.
Yeah. Let's go with the Green Bay Packers. I'm gonna go 3.5.
That's pretty high. Yeah. All right.
I think that. Do I think they make it to the Super Bowl? No. But would I be surprised if they snuck into the NFC Championship somehow, some way? No, because I do think they have the weapons to score with anybody. Their defense does just enough to win games. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Dallas this weekend. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they make it to the divisional round at the very least. Do I think they're Super Bowl contenders? No, I do not. I think they're a year away. I think there's some
Yeah.
pieces that they need to add to this defense to get there and on this offensive line. But I do think that I will give them a 3.5.
Yeah. I'm really excited the way they're playing right now. They're playing well at the right time. Let's say they do beat the Cowboys, they're playing the Niners. They got no shot. they're playing the Niners. They have no chance in hell. So that's why I'm giving them a 2.5.
Mhm.
If we're rating it based on championship level, I'm gonna give it a 2.5. I do agree with you. I do think the Packers Cowboys game is gonna be very interesting. Jordan Love seems like he's getting very comfortable out there. Aaron Jones looks healthy. Hopefully they can get Christian Watson to be healthy. That'll make that offense way more explosive. Jalen Reed's been looking amazing. I'm excited to see the Jair Alexander versus CD Lamb matchup. Do you trust McCarthy? Do you trust Dak Prescott? Those are questions you got to ask yourself. So I'm giving it 2.5 respectfully, just based off of if they win, which I think they have a good chance. They would play the Niners and they would have no chance at all.
All right, let's go with the Houston Texans. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 3.5. Go
Okay.
3.5. I just think that they're riding high with momentum,
Mm-hmm.
and they just don't know what they're a young team that just don't know what they don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're just going out there just playing. CJ Stroud's gonna try to play out of his mind. I know, and they're playing at home. I agree with you. If they do make it to the second round, I think they play my. I think they play my Chiefs. If we move on, but
They would.
regardless, you know what
They
I'm
would.
saying. Regardless, they're a team that you can't take lightly at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They have a ability to beat anybody. I do think that they play differently when they're on the road. I do. They're most dome teams are, especially when you get them in that cold weather. They play a little different. But I'm gonna give them a 3.5 because they're a young team that just don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, I think with the game last week, I think it kind of helped their confidence of playing on the road in a big time game. And they looked really good out the gate. So I think that helps a lot. D'Amico Ryans has them boys locked in. If you really look at all the quarterbacks that are in the playoffs right now, who's playing better than CJ Stroud right now? Maybe Dak Prescott, and maybe Matthew Stafford. Besides that, Mahomes is not. We know Jalen Hurts is not. Jared Goff, maybe. I guess you could probably say Jared Goff too, maybe in a sense, but I would probably still pick CJ Stroud. I'll probably still take CJ Stroud. So I think CJ Stroud got to be what out of all the quarterbacks left, as far as playing right now, he has to be top 2, maybe 3. You know what I mean? And I think with that case, you have a shot. And if the cards play itself right, they could possibly make the AFC Championship game. Not saying they're going to, not saying they're going to win it, but they have a chance. With CJ Stroud, you have a chance. So I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 based on that. So rock with that.
Next up, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going 2.5. I just that defense is bad.
Yeah.
Underachieving defense, underachieving offense right now. They look like they're in disarray. Coaching staff look like they just out of sorts. Nick Sirianni looks like he doesn't have the the pulse of this team right now. They're not really together. And like I said before, I would be surprised if they lose to Tampa Bay on Monday. Even if AJ Brown plays, Jalen, from what I saw yesterday, I just look like they don't even want to be on the field right now.
Yeah.
And they just look like the offensive, like you said earlier, the offensive line looks like it's aging. The defensive line is underachieving, but I think that has more so to do with, and they wanted to get Jonathan Gannon out of there. Now they're seeing what life without Jonathan Gannon here. And Jonathan Gannon just came in there and beat them. So you see how effective a coaching staff can be when you lose an OC and when you lose a defensive coordinator like that. It's just they just don't look right, and I don't have no confidence in them.
My confidence meter is a 1. I have no confidence at all in this team. They look broken. They look defeated. They're just no confidence at all. The defense, Matt Patricia has literally just made that defense into one of the worst defenses out there. You literally just lost your safety to the year with an ACL injury. That's going to hurt them. The matchup with the Bucks is really not really good. I don't think so, me personally. People are able to run on them. Mike Evans might have a field day. Chris Godwin might have a field day. Rashad White can catch out of the backfield as well. He's been playing really well too. Even though I get Baker Mayfield has not played really well the last couple weeks, their offense hasn't looked really explosive. But credit to Carolina, man. Carolina's defense has played pretty well the last couple weeks, man. That really wasn't their worst spot. The offense has been really their problem, their issues, and obviously you can kind of see all what's happening with that. So, I got to go with a 1, man. I'm really not confident at all in the Eagles and where they're at mentally and physically.
Next up, the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, I'm curious to see what you say on this one.
I'm going to go 3.
Oh, higher than I thought.
What you thought I was going to say a 2?
Yeah, I thought you were going to say like 2. I really did. I thought you were going to say like a 2.
No. I'm going to give them because I just feel like the Buffalo Bills can go either way in the playoffs. They can get real hot, Buffalo, and Josh Allen can play out of his mind. And because it's not the offense. They move up and down the field. You saw it yesterday. They're moving up and down the field at will. It's just that the mistakes. Can they stop shooting? Can Josh Allen not turn the football over? Because that's what kills them. That ultimately, that's what kills him. Him doing too much. You know what I'm saying? And just bad throws. Like the one in the end zone, the red zone, that was bad. Him running to his right and he just throws it up. Like, we can't have that in the playoffs, or you will go home.
Yeah.
You will go home. So I'm literally with the Buffalo Bills. It's just, can you not turn the football over, Josh Allen? Please. Or at least, if you got to, just give me 1. Just give me 1. Do it in the first quarter, and so it don't hurt us too much. So I just, like I said, that's my kind. Buffalo can literally. I can see them in the Super Bowl,
or out
or
the
I can
first
see them. I can see them 1 and done. You know what I'm saying? That's literally where I'm at with the Buffalo Bills.
I agree with you. I'm gonna go 3.5 though. I think the matchup against the Steelers is very favorable. If they were to win that, then they would probably get the winner of, I would assume, Dolphins and Chiefs. I would assume, depending on who wins that.
They get the lowest seed. No, Baltimore gets the lowest seed. So you're right. Yeah,
so it'll be Dolphins and Chiefs, and I think they're comfortable with both teams. They've seen them enough where they'll be comfortable with that. Obviously, though, and then on top of that, they would have home field advantage over the Chiefs, so I think that would help too. So I'm gonna give it a 3.5. If Josh Allen can just limit the turnovers, as you say, and stop putting their defense in bad situations, I think their defense has played pretty well, especially with the positions that they've been put in, all year. If they run the ball a little bit more, James Cook can run the ball. If they can find a way to get Stephon Diggs the ball and all that, if they can figure all that stuff out, they can make the Super Bowl. The only team that would be, a lot of people would have them big underdogs, would be the Ravens. That'll be the only team they'd be scared of. But we still got to see if the Ravens can even, do what they do in the playoffs, which we'll get to them in a little bit. But so I'm gonna give them a 3.5. Josh Allen, as I said, if he can limit the turnovers, they have a chance to win any game. So I'm gonna stick with that.
Let's go with the Detroit Lions. I know it's gonna surprise you, but I'm going 4.
4. Okay.
I think that if Detroit plays their cards right, they can at least get to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, they could.
If they're clicking at all cylinders, and it all depends on Jared Goff. We need good Jared Goff. But if that running game is clicking, St. Brown and all them is, doing their thing, and that defense can just do just enough.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if I saw them in the NFC Championship game.
I would go higher, but I don't trust their coach. He puts them in bad positions. I think he made a terrible decision in playing their starters yesterday, which got one of their best players hurt. I would be a lot higher on this team, but I'm gonna go with a 3 based on the matchup. I think the Rams pose a bad matchup for them defensively because they have receivers across the board and they have probably the best running back going right now with Kyron Williams, and Matthew Stafford is very comfortable playing in Detroit. Very comfortable playing in Detroit. So I'm gonna give it a 3. If they get past the Rams, they will probably see either the Packers or Cowboys. Probably more. You know, if they face the Cowboys, I don't think they fear them. You know what I mean? I think they played them really well in Detroit. Hopefully, depending on the Laporta situation, maybe he might be able to play in some capacity. I still strongly doubt it, though. It looked pretty gruesome. So, and he was a big proponent to that team during that week too. So, I'm gonna give it a 3.
For sure.
That coach scares me to death.
All right, next up, my Kansas City Chiefs. I guess I went 3.5. I went 3.5.
Okay.
I still believe in this defense can keep us in games, and they've been doing it all year. You know what I'm saying? And I know, look, I'm not here to argue about our wide receivers. I'm not here to argue about none of that. I know our wide receivers. We talked about it the other day. I know our crop of wide receivers are terrible. But if Andy Reid, if anybody I'm going to believe in the playoff setting, in this month, I'm gonna believe in Andy Reid. I'm gonna believe in Patrick Mahomes. I know he's had a down year, but I'm still gonna take my chances with 15 anytime with this defense. And I just believe that, especially this weekend, I don't fear the Dolphins whatsoever. I've been telling you all year. I felt like the Dolphins, even though I know they deal with their injuries, but I just always felt like they were paper champions. They look good on paper. Yeah, that looks scary as shit. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, but every time they go against the big dogs, it just don't show up on film. You can't point to a game this regular season when you said Miami did that to that team. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, they just don't they don't step up to the plate when it's time to step up to the plate. Like I said, we can point to different reasonings or whatever, but they don't have one game. Even the game against Dallas, they probably should have lost. So it's just like, I'm not scared of Miami this weekend. Now, you could talk me into, we got to go to Orchard Park and play Buffalo. And that's not going to be easy by no stretch. You know what I'm saying? And we all know what Kansas City and Buffalo represent in the playoffs. 13 seconds. We've had our battles in the playoffs. But like I said, I'm going to go 3.5 because, like I said, I'm going this defense I think they're one of the better defenses in the league, and I'm going to trust in Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid to get it right. So,
yeah, I'm not going to be the dead horse, man. I've already explained how I feel about Travis Kelce getting older. Receivers really not that great. I was struggling. I was going between 2.5 and 3. I'm probably going to lean more towards 3, just based on Patrick Mahomes. Like, you can never rule him out. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league, no matter how he hasn't lived up to his normal levels. Andy Reid is still one of the best coaches in the league. Your defense is playing pretty amazing, pretty healthy too. You can probably have one of the more healthier defenses out there, which is a very positive thing. I think health plays a big key into that. For the most part, you seem pretty healthy. Like, Mahomes doesn't seem like he has the ankle problem. Travis Kelce does look a little slower, but for the most part, he's pretty healthy. Pacheco is pretty much probably your most banged up person, but overall, he seems pretty healthy when he is playing. So, as long as he don't, learn how to strap on his helmet, he should be fine. So, and then obviously, with the Dolphins coming in, I've always said it. I always thought it was a bad matchup, especially with the receiving core. Now they are banged up. Tyreek Hill is pretty banged up. How banged up will he be when he plays? That's going to be the big key. I do think Waddle's going to be back. As I say, he's not going to be 100%, but from what they say, he's moving pretty well. I think Raheem Mostert will be playing with Devon Achane. That offense is going to be explosive, depending if Tua cannot turn over the ball. He's kind of the same way with Josh Allen. You know what I mean? If he can get in a rhythm Tua is one of the most dangerous quarterbacks out there. Now, if he's out of rhythm, he looks terrible. You know what I mean? So, and then will they depend on the run game? If the running game can get going, it's very hard to run on the Chiefs. But if they can run the ball, it could be pretty interesting. I still think it's going to be a pretty good game. I don't think it's going to be a lot at all. I could see it being kind of like in the same level as when they played in Germany, where it was like kind of like a 21-14 type of style game. Maybe it might be 24-21, depending. You know what I mean? Obviously, I think it'll be a little bit more offense than it was, but depending on the weather, I don't know what the weather's going to be like in Kansas City as well either. I'm expecting to be hella cold and shit. So if it's like cold with like some wind and shit, it's going to be interesting as fuck. I think the running game is really going to play out, which Isaiah Pacheco could really be the superstar of the game. I'm gonna give it a 3, man. I still respect the team, but there are just have flaws.
I'm gonna say this, and I agree with what Chris Tim said. We gotta embrace the ugly right now, and that's running the football, baby. Isaiah Pacheco has got to be the way. If we want to at least find ourselves an AFC Championship game,
Isaiah Pacheco needs to be the star. It doesn't need to be Mahomes. It has to be Isaiah Pacheco. No, I agree.
Definitely. And play action pass, and you hit Rashee Rice with a couple big plays here and there. Maybe, hopefully, we can get Travis Kelce to be vintage Travis Kelce. You know what I'm saying? The playoffs. And that will make a lot of difference. And just let this defense cook. Let the defense cook. You know what I'm saying? Because Spags has been dialing it up. And hey, like I said, and we need great Chris Jones. If we can get great Chris Jones, like last year, playoff run, like people will underrate that. Like Mahomes was good, and I know he had the angry injury or whatever. But we got great Chris Jones last year, who was just a monster on the defensive line last year. And if we can get that guy in the playoffs, then we definitely got a chance.
Yeah.
We definitely got it.
Nick Bolton too. I think Nick Bolton, if he can get back to the way he was earlier in the year, he's been kind of up and down. But the way he was playing earlier in the year, he looked like he could be potentially like defensive player of the year. The way he was playing, so I get it. He had the wrist injury or something like that. So if he can get back up to speed the way he was earlier, it's very scary, very scary. I said Trent McDuffie's been playing really well. Snead has been playing pretty good. I would say like you do have holes, you do have flaws, but you still got to respect the team and it's right. You know what I mean? Like you can never outrule Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. As long as those two guys are still there, you always have a chance. You always will have a chance. But so we'll see. We'll see.
Let's go with the LA Rams. I'm gonna give it a 3.5, man. Because I think, and we talked about this earlier. Yes, this matchup this weekend, I wouldn't be surprised if Matthew Stafford goes into Detroit and beats Detroit because he's familiar with that place. He knows how to play in that stadium. But this is the one team, I believe, that can score with San Francisco.
They're not scared.
And give San Francisco. They're not scared because they see them twice a year. So they know San Francisco. Tom McVay and Kyle Shanahan are boys. They know each other.
I think Sean McVay has a better record against Kyle Shanahan too. His record is pretty good against Kyle Shanahan.
So this is the one team that nobody wants to play right now.
No.
In the NFC, not even San Francisco wants to play the LA Rams. They don't. No. I'm sorry, they don't. No. So I got them at 3.5. I know people are like, Chris, why you have them at 4? Because there is some flaws in their defense. You know what I'm saying? They can get them killed, you know what I'm saying, especially in that secondary. But with those weapons, I would take my chance. The 3.5, I feel very high on that the LA Rams can go in and just be a disruptor in a lot of things.
Yeah, you know me, man. You know, the last couple of weeks I've been on the Rams high horse. You know, you can attest to me. I've been saying this for the past almost 4 weeks. I'm giving them a 4. I think the matchup against the Lions is very favorable. That offense is amazing, dog. You got Nakua. Nakua is your 1. Cooper Kupp is your 2. Like, come on, dog. Kyron Williams, Matthew Stafford, you know, he's playing really good. All you're asking is Aaron Donald to give you 3 to 4 Aaron Donald vintage games, dog, which I think he's more than capable of doing. It's not like he's over the hill. He still has the capabilities of doing that. Just hold it down. If these corners can hold it down a little bit, not give the big plays, not do the timely penalties, hold-ins, pass interference, they have a shot to beat any team. They went to Philly. They almost won that game. They should have probably won that game. So they're not scared of Philly, especially the way they're playing. Dallas doesn't really put fear in their hearts, especially with the Gilmore going down. You got to guard those guys. That's going to be scary. Plus, you can run on them too. Kyron Williams could have a field day against the Cowboys. And then, as you said again, too, the Niners, they're not scared of the Niners, man. It's a division opponent. We know how division games go. It's a very scary thing. You know what I mean? And I get the Niners going to be confident. They should be confident. But out of all the teams, they would rather play the Cowboys than the Rams. Let's attest to that. They would rather play the Cowboys than the Rams. I'm telling people. I'm telling you. Don't sleep. And Sean McVay is probably right up there with Kyle Shanahan. Is probably the best coaches in the NFC right now. So you cannot sleep on him as well. Might be, but I respect Kyle Shanahan with what he's done.
I do too.
I think they're pretty much right there. They're pretty much right there with with being the best minds on the NFC side. So with that being said, man, it's just you cannot sleep on this team, man. If they can go into Detroit and beat Detroit, be careful. Be careful because the Rams play the Niners the next week. Be careful. Niners, be careful. Be careful. Be careful.
All right. Let's go with the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to go 4, man. I just think Cleveland's running with it and high momentum right now. And this is the one team that the Ravens don't want to see.
True.
Tell you that right now. The Ravens don't want to see, first of all, they're divisional opponents, so they already know each other. Yeah. Flacco is familiar with playing in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? He played there for years. That would be kind of like icing on the cake for him. That's like revenge game for him. This weekend, I know they're playing in Houston and Dome or whatever, but I think that Cleveland's defense can do enough to be a disruptor to C.J. Stroud. The one thing I do think you could take away, if you're Cleveland, you got to double team Nico Collins. You can't let that dude run free. And if you can neutralize him, I think you have a good shot at beating the Texans. But like I said, I think this is the one team that they can go into Baltimore and beat Baltimore. And like you said, as great as Baltimore has played this year and as great as Lamar Jackson has looked, we still got to see it in the playoff setting. We got to see. This is deja vu from 2019 year when they were the number 1 seed and everybody thought they was going to do it that year. Now, to be fair, they were hurt that year. Mark Andrews was hurt. Lamar Jackson got hurt too. But still, Titans went in there and beat them. You know what I'm saying? Because they weren't scared of them. They out physical them, pushed them around, and I believe Cleveland can do the same thing. They can be physical, push you around, and Flacco is just going to throw that football down the field to Njoku and Moore and Coop. And you know what I'm saying? That's a lot. So, and Ford running that football, So I agree with a lot of what you said. I'm gonna go 3.5 just based on can Flacco hold up? You know what I mean? Can Flacco hold up? He is an older quarterback. He came in hot. How long is this streak gonna last? He's played very clean. He hasn't really been touched. I trust everything around him though. I really do. Coop, that defense. The coach, I do trust a lot of things about that. It's only Joe Flacco. See if he can just remain hot. If he remains hot, then they might be the scariest team in all of football at the end of the day. Yeah, for sure. All right, man, let's go Dallas Cowboys. I'm with the Dallas Cowboys like I am with the Buffalo Bills. I'm at a 3.
A 3? Okay.
And I have the same reasoning. They can go either way for Dallas. Either they're one and done this weekend against Green Bay, or they're in the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl, or they could be in the Super Bowl. I can see either or. Yeah. But like I said, it all depends on Dak Prescott because the defense, they just lost Stephon Gilmore. Yeah, I don't think he's playing this weekend because it's a shoulder injury. I like Micah Parsons. I think he's one of the better defensive players in this league. He could be had in the run game.
He can.
And if Green Bay can get the run game going and keep that offense off the field, it might not be they might be one and done. But if the one thing, if Dallas's offense gets going, once it gets going, they have a chance to beat anybody. So.
For sure. I think that Dak CD connection has probably been one of the more dangerous connections in the league this year. CD's been playing amazing. He's definitely up there with one of the best receivers in the league today. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go with like a 3. I'm still gonna respect this team. I get it. They haven't really done anything in the playoffs, but they do have talent across the board. I do not trust the coach. I think Dak has played really well. Now, can he not turn? I agree with you. He has the same level of Josh Allen in him where he can turn over the ball. You know what I mean? If he starts doing that, where it's like first drive he throws a pick, it's gonna get scary. It's gonna get scary. So, but I'm gonna keep it even kill with them. I'm gonna give them a 3. I think they have a chance to beat anybody, but history shows us that most of the time it's not the case. But I'm gonna keep it even, stay at like a 3.
Yeah. Okay. San Francisco 49ers. I'm gonna go 4.5. Can Brock Purdy do it? Is he the guy? And can they stay healthy? Those are my main questions with San Francisco. Yeah. Can Brock Purdy do it in the playoffs when the pressure is really on? Can he make it happen? Get them to the Super Bowl? And can they stay healthy? Because that has always been their Achilles heel is health. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, to their key, and it's always key players. I think they just lost a secondary guy.
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure.
But yeah. That's just the main question with me. I have 4.5. I wouldn't be like I expect him to make it to the Super Bowl, but it all predicates on can Brock Purdy do it? Can he win 2 games to get them to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you. I'm not gonna go 5 because I don't think anything's a 5 in the NFL. But they're the closest thing to 5, so I'm gonna give them a 4 point. I'm gonna give them 4.5. I'm gonna stick with you. I agree with you. Brock Purdy, if he can just not turn over the ball, stay within themselves, you got the talent around him. If you keep Christian McCaffrey healthy, Brandon Ayuk has been playing well, Kittle has been playing well. You know, it goes on and on. That defense is amazing. That D line, they got the best linebackers in the game today. They got one of the best corners in the game today. So obviously they don't have their safety, Mafaga. I don't know how you say his name. But Mafunga, yeah, like he obviously got hurt earlier in the month or last month. So they won't have him. So that would affect them a little bit. But overall, man, they're the team to beat. Next to the Ravens. So 4.5. And then let's say if Brock Purdy gets hurt or whatever, I think Sam Darnold's been showing pretty well too. I think he's a more explosive quarterback as well. He has a bigger arm. He can run. I think he runs better than Brock Purdy. Now the only thing with him is obviously the turnover thing, but it's the same with Brock Purdy as well. So if anything happens with Brock Purdy, they do have a really, really great, a really, really good backup to, I think that might make them even more explosive, which could be even more scarier. I got confidence in this team. You're right. As long as they stay healthy, they'll be fine.
Baltimore Ravens, same questions. Can they stay healthy? And can Lamar Jackson do it in the playoffs? They're exact replicas of each other. Health in the quarterback position. Yeah, and I love Lamar Jackson. I think he's amazing. But now this is your time, man. This is it. You know what I'm saying? The AFC, all the juggernauts are down this year. The Kansas City Chiefs, they're down this year. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes ain't playing his best football. Bills is down this year. You ain't got to worry about the Bengals. They out. They out the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? The red carpet is to the Super Bowl is rolled out for you, Lamar Jackson, because this team has been the best team in the league, not just the AFC, but in the league. You beat San Francisco
dominantly
and punked them.
Dominantly. Yeah.
So this is it. You got to show it. Go get it. You know what I'm saying? Now, while all the juggernauts, like we said, are down this year. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to do it this year because everybody gonna get better next year. So,
yeah, sure.
So that's what I'm saying. And I'm not just talking about the juggernauts. The Raiders gonna get better next year. Chargers, I'd say what you want about the Chargers. They gonna get better. Like everybody gonna get better.
Harbaugh, next year. Yeah. Everybody's getting better next year.
Everybody's gonna get better next year. You know what I'm saying? So this is y'all year, Ravens.
Yeah,
y'all better get it, because if y'all don't get it this year, I don't know when y'all gonna get it. You know what I'm saying?
So what's your rating? What you give them?
4.5.
4.5.
I got
Okay.
4.5.
I'm a huge Lamar Jackson fan. I love what he got around his team. Odell's been looking like old Odell, back when the Rams days where you got hot at the end. Zay Flowers been explosive. Likely has been amazing. I don't know if Mark Andrews is going to be able to come back. I remember seeing something where he might be able to come back in the playoffs, but we'll see if they can get him back. That would be really, really good. They just got Dalvin Cook, so they signed him, so that should help that offense too. With me, it's just I got to see it. I got to see it, man. I got to see them do the same thing they did in the regular season in the playoffs. And I mean this respectfully. I'm gonna give them a 3.5 just because I need to see it. Just because I need to see it. It should be higher. It should be a 4.5. It should be. But I need to see it. And I believe I will, but I gotta do what history tells me, man. I gotta do what history tells me. I'm gonna give them a 3.5. They should win, even if they play the Browns, they should win the game. They should. Yeah. And depending on how they go. And then, this is not the first time they've had a bye week. Every time they made the playoffs, I think they've been either the number 1 or number 2 seed. So they've always been high seeds. And they get the bye week and then they just don't look good. They just come out flat. They look good. I don't know if it's a Harbaugh thing. I don't know. I don't know if they played too reserved. Like they don't want to do what they did in the season, because I get it. Every game is important, but at the same time, it's not do or die. So maybe they get a little reserved with the play calling and stuff like that. But I gotta see it, man. It's with the coaching staff. I have belief in Lamar, but I gotta see it. That's why I'm giving it a 3.5. But yeah. But they should be. They are my favorites to come out the AFC though. They're still my favorites to come out the AFC.
Yeah, most definitely, as they should be. But yeah, I ain't mad at you, brother. I ain't mad at you at all. All right, man. Let's go ahead and we got a college football game tonight, national championship.
Yeah. Big game.
Washington Huskies versus Michigan Wolverines. This game is coming down to the trenches, man. Can this defensive line disrupt this offensive line, which this offensive line got the award for best offensive line in the nation? So, and this defensive line is one of the best in the league. If Michael Penix and these receivers get off, then Washington's going to win this game. But if this defensive line can be disruptor enough to make Penix hold the ball and they can get a couple sacks on him, they have a very good chance of winning this game.
Yeah.
I'm going with Washington.
Okay. What's the score?
I don't think. Well, before I get to my score, I think this offensive line is going to do good enough to hold this defensive line, and I just think Penix is his receivers are just going to do what they do.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm going 35-24.
So you got winning by double digits, huh? Comfortable, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they get up early, and I don't think J.J. McCarthy is able to get them back in the game.
Yeah, I agree with you. J.J. McCarthy is very he's iffy for me. You know what I mean? He is very iffy for me. Michael Penix, I hope you're in the Raiders jersey next year, brother. I'll take you. I'll take Jay Daniels. I'll take Caleb Williams, even though Caleb Williams has a shot. But I think my best shot is probably Michael Penix. I would love to have him on my team. He would change the world for me, boy. I swear, I would love that. But getting back to the game, I think Michigan is built to play against this team because this Washington team reminds you a lot of the Ohio State teams. The quarterback, the receivers, the way they play. I think they match up well. I think they've been building this team to go up against a team like this. If you remember the CJ Stroud game last year, they were very dominant against them. Washington reminds me a lot of that Ohio State team with those receivers, with the quarterback. So I'm going to go Michigan. I think Blake Corum is going to have a really good game. I think Washington has a little bit of trouble stopping the run. I know, and watch out for Michigan's tight end too. I don't know his name, but he's a really, really great tight end. I think he can be up there with Brock Bowers and stuff as far as like one of the top tight ends. I think if he comes out, I'm not sure if he does. But he can be, he's gonna be up there. The thing that makes me nervous is definitely JJ McCarthy for sure. He had a really shaky game last week coming out the gate, almost throwing the pick. Well, he got lucky with old boy being out of bounds. So I'm gonna go Michigan. 24-21. I think they're gonna keep it close. A little nerves, man. I think a lot of people are gonna be nervous out there. It's a big game. I think it'll start off slow, but I think it'll pick up towards the end. So, but I think Michigan will win. Last second field goal, last minute field goal, win 24-21, and then get to stop at the end.
Sure.
Harbaugh is either a Charger or a Raider. After that.
All right, man. Let's do it. Flowers of the week.
I'll go first. I'm gonna go with my man Antonio Pierce, man. He deserves all the flowers for what he's done with this organization with the Raiders. He deserves a shot. He deserves a real chance. At the same time, if they go Harbaugh, I won't be mad, but I get why these players want him to be the head coach. He deserves it. He has every right to do it. So I'm gonna give him his flowers, man. Shout out to AP. I hope you get the job, brother. I'm rooting for you. As well as a lot of other Raider fans are rooting for you. So shout out to you, my brother.
My flowers go to D'Amico Ryan and CJ Stroud, like I said earlier, for what they did this season, putting that team on their back, and CJ Stroud proving that, he was right now, he's the better of the two quarterbacks out of him and Bryce Young, and he's one of the young bright stars in this league coming up. And, with the influx of young quarterbacks coming in next year, this league is looking up. You know what I'm saying? We still have yet to see some of these quarterbacks play next year. But I still even believe in Bryce Young. They just got to get the culture right in Carolina. But still, I think CJ Stroud is one of the bright stars, and D'Amico Ryan is one of the bright coaches in this league. So yeah, I'm definitely going to give them their flowers, and them going to the playoffs definitely caps it all.
Yeah.
So. All right, man. You know what it is. It's the hell of the week.
Hell no's of the week, man. So I got two, but I'm gonna go by quick, man. I limited it. So my first one goes to Darvin Ham. I gotta give it to Darvin Ham, man. That news conference he had after we lost before the Clippers game on Friday when we lost to the Grizzlies, where he's talking about he thinks people should stop caring and shit like that. Bro, nah, people are just tired of seeing you being a terrible ass coach, bro. So you got to get the hell nah. You got to get better at it. You can tell the players are kind of over him a little bit. So he gets a hell nah. And then my last one goes to the NFL and NBC for putting a playoff game on fucking Peacock. Get out of here. I respect the NFL. I respect NBC. If we get big, I'm not trying to burn bridges or anything, but come on, man. Y'all, this is not right. This is not right. If y'all want to do this during the regular season, do it during the regular season. But this is the biggest time of year where fans do not need to be you need to put a game behind a fucking paywall. It's just not right. It's not cool. No one appreciates that, man. So that really gets my biggest hell no of the week is that.
My hell no goes to my man who jumped on the judge, man. What are you thinking, bro?
You saw him looking like Hannibal Lecter and shit.
Yeah, that's why I posted on Twitter. You got my man look like Hannibal Lecter now. Dog. Now, if you watched it, because I watched the clip before the whole jumping, and he was reading off he was trying to, confide into the judge and say, I'm gonna do better and all this stuff. And if you heard his charges, this man had a laundry list of charges, and he just made it worse. My man, I will give you this, man. You cleared that thing, man. You a hell of an athlete,
right?
You about to be a athlete in the penitentiary. You
pick the wrong profession.
You're gonna be in the longest yard. Playing football for them because playing basketball for them because brother, you are done. You are not going to see the light of day. You will be in prison for the rest of your life. And he had to go back and see the same judge to give him his sentence.
Yeah, I think he got sentenced like 2 years or something.
She about to give him all emotion. Nigga, you hit me.
Crazy.
You lucky, boy. You lucky. Because like I said, if I was her, you wouldn't see the light of day.
Surprised the motherfucker didn't get shot.
That too.
I mean, I thought we were about to witness some murder right there.
And my other hell no goes to that white dude in the back that was punching. What was you doing?
He was so late and delayed, and yeah, that's
clearly so you ain't never been in a fight before because
her whole offensive line should be fired. That shit was crazy. Her whole line was terrible.
Like where was the plaintiff? Like, what did he do? Like, he had to been like, nah, he ain't about to. Oh, what? Yo, he cleared it.
My man had a clear lane to the quarterback and took it. I ain't mad.
They said that dude is tall. He's like 6'2", 6'3". He ain't no short dude.
I believe it. He probably got a 47-inch vert. The way he was hopping shit. That bench, that shit's not short, man. That shit is high as hell. No, I've never seen it in the court, but pictures of it, yeah, it is not short.
Man,
it was like Jeff Hardy over the turnbuckle.
That's what I said. Man, Rey Mysterio, man.
And he get out of jail, he should definitely try out for WWE for sure.
Off the top, bro. But yeah, brother, you get the hell.
Oh my god.
You making Vegas look bad too.
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Vegas has been crazy lately.
Get your goddamn ass.
Yeah, so that man, he was wilding.
Hell yeah.
So he must have had some energy. And you know what else is good with energy?
Glitch energy drink, baby. You know what I mean? The one and the only. You know what I mean? Got shout out to Glitch, man. They've been rocking with us for a little bit. So Glitch energy drink offers a wide range of delicious flavors to suit everyone's taste preferences. Whether you're into fruity flavors like Maui Punch and Cherry Bomb, or prefer something unique like Blue Smurf and Grenades, there's something for everyone. Glitch energy drink is not only great for gamers and workout warriors, but also for everyday people who simply need a boost of energy. Because some of y'all be like low-key lackluster, man. Y'all need to get it up. It's a healthy choice as well, so feel good about it. You can find more information and purchase Glitch Energy Drink at glitchenergy.com. Again, that's glitchenergy.com. Remember to use the promo code Cris and Mal to get 10% off your purchase and start enjoying the benefits of this energizing drink, man. So make sure you put in the promo code, save that bread. You know, inflation is crazy right now, man. So, you know, if you can save money, save it, man. So put in the code.
Yes, sir. And whatever streaming platform you use to listen to your podcast, Cris and Mal podcast is available on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Google, iHeartRadio. So whatever streaming platform that you use, go ahead and type in Cris and Mal podcast and go ahead follow us. And if this is the first time you watching us on YouTube, hit that subscription button, hit the like button, hit that notification button. So when we do our live Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, you'll be able to get notified and jump right in with us. You can hit you can get in the comment section. You can talk about the topics with us. Also on Wednesday or Thursdays, we drop, our recorded episodes that we do Wednesday night. So you get the notification with that one too. Yeah, go ahead and follow us, man, and hit us up, man, in the comment section, man. Leave a like too.
Please do.
Whatever social media app that you use, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, whatever one you use the most, go ahead and follow us at Cris and Mal. We'll follow you back. We want to hear from you guys. We're regular guys just like y'all, you know what I'm saying? And we just want to hear from y'all, whatever you got, topics, you got, discussions you want us to bring up. You got questions, you got anything, feedback, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Hit us up, you know what I'm saying? Interact with us. We want to interact with y'all, you know what I'm saying? And we want to build this community up for the Cris and Mal podcast. So yeah, man, hit us up, man, and follow us back. We'll follow you for sure. So, all right, y'all. Until Thursday, we out.